painful.
So you've given up, Evan. One game has completely changed everything for you, and you've given up on the season. It's crazy.
They've lost.
The Lions
They've lost.
pissed down their leg and blew the playoffs last week. It's over.
No.
And now every single game is just...
Oh, you trust yourself going into Lambeau versus Aaron Rodgers with the playoffs on the line?
I do.
Yes.
I stand by. I think they're going to win that football game.
Drugs. High on drugs.
Cheers to episode 103.
103.
Cheers.
Blue Moon. Bottle.
Butthole. Water.
Bush Light.
Water? Get off.
Yeah.
Take that shot right now.
Yeah, you just showed.
Lemonade.
Take that shot.
Whoa, fancy boy.
I don't think... This looks big. This looks bigger than normal.
You know what they say about guys that drink lemonade?
Is that Maker's Mark?
4 roses. I got
Pour that,
testers.
pour that into the
bourbon
lemonade.
tasting next week. No, Grant. I have to take these straight to be a man.
If Michigan beats TCU, will you drink all those right before the national championship preview?
That feels like a lose-lose, Grant.
In what
Georgia's
way?
going to be in it. They're going to lose to Georgia.
If the Lions...
Feels like a win-win for the audience. There's a win for the audience in there.
I can't do that. I can't commit to that.
All right.
I'll do one a week starting next week. So I'll go 3 weeks in a row of some bourbons. Oh. Evan was about to, too.
Did you guys smell
You
that
guys
to your
okay?
screen?
I definitely can smell that.
So we got water. Evan, you had Bush Light
Yep.
and Blue Moon, which it says right here Belgian white. So we got a Bush and a Belgian white. And we got lemonade water, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome into the #1 sports podcast in Michigan. It's Tuesday, club going up, podcast going up on a Tuesday, December 27th, 7:42 p.m. And the Lions forgot how to tackle.
Forgot to play defense.
Forgot how to play
Forgot
defense.
how to do a lot of stuff.
Forgot how to play pass coverage. Forgot how to tackle. Forgot how to know
On top of that, also Wilson.
Okay, yeah. I can get behind that.
When I didn't watch that game, just saw the score, I almost pooped my pants when I saw the final score. I didn't even know that was possible.
Have either of you had a Danger Witch?
What is that?
His like sandwich, the Danger
His sandwich? His Subway sandwich?
The Danger Witch.
You think I'm walking into Subway and ordering a Danger Witch, Grant?
I didn't even know that was the thing, so no, I have not.
I didn't really know it was called that until you just said it.
It looks pretty good. I might get one once the season ends and everything's died over. Yeah. Danger Witch. Oh, it got removed. Damn it.
No way.
It was let me just get you this real quick. He lost it 4 games. No, wait. Oh, this was like in week 5, unless this lady's lying. But it's on CBS Sports. The fast food franchise announced the Danger Witch, spelled Danger, W-I-C-H. It came on Italian herbs and cheese, bread, and was topped with pepperoni, salami, Black Forest ham, bacon, and provolone cheese.
So it's an Italian BMT with bacon.
It was also topped with lettuce, green peppers, tomatoes, banana peppers, and finished with yellow mustard and mayo.
Sounds pretty
It's an Italian BMT with bacon added. That is all that is.
Alex, didn't you a couple weeks ago tell me you really respected that the one guy from Subway, Jared, who lost all that weight?
What? Why do you make stuff up?
Bad guy. Really bad guy.
Yeah, it's disgusting that you said that.
On today's show, we are going to talk about what everyone did over Christmas. Lions football being the Panthers game that we were forced to watch on Christmas Eve. Preview the Bears game. Then we have college football back in our lives a little bit. We'll preview Michigan versus TCU, give a prediction, and also give a prediction for the Georgia OSU game since we love college football so much. Then we have the any miscellaneous sports topics. Maybe we do have a listener question about the Pistons, so we'll at least bring that up there briefly. And then our New Year's resolutions, both personal and sports New Year's resolutions, which is a very important segment where we reflect on the year that was and how we can hope to be better, mainly in the world of sports. All right. With that being said, Alex has told us that his weekly recap is really boring. So let's give that to the people first.
Okay. Last recorded Sunday, December 18th. Did not do anything during the week. Actually, I saw Avatar 2 again because Drew asked me to go with him. And I didn't want to make him go by himself. Felt bad, so I went.
And you must be turned on by the blue people.
Oh my God.
I'll be honest. I was pretty bored during the second showing of it. I was not very locked in. I went to the bathroom twice.
The funniest thing happened to me when I went and saw Avatar 2 on last Monday.
Well, just
Funniest
hold
thing.
on.
No,
I had
Funniest thing.
No,
I had some
Funniest-
action
I
in
don't
this
know if I can
theater
say
as
it
well.
on the podcast, but it was the funniest thing, and thank God you brought that up.
I need to hear it right now before
All right,
it goes
let's hear
away.
it.
Okay.
We'll
So,
decide if it stays or not.
we go see the Goats. The Goats movie theater. See Avatar 2.
Paul Glantz.
Paul
Paul
Glantz.
Glantz.
Paul
Yeah.
Glantz,
Paul
thank
Glantz.
you. Go to his movie theater. During the day too. I think it was a 2:00 showing.
Matinee.
There's 4 of us, and we sat down. I'm walking out to go to the bathroom right before the 3-hour movie, and we had a stalker following us as a joke. Cheese was busy. Then he just showed up randomly as like a joke, but we caught him basically. Had to be there. It was kind of funny.
Okay.
So watched the movie. I thought it was a really good movie. It dragged on a little bit in parts, but I enjoyed it. I don't know if I would see it again.
Wouldn't recommend.
There's no
Second
need for me to
viewing.
see this movie. You guys can spoil it. We can get the takes out now because I'm never watching this movie based on your guys'
we just
reactions.
need to get to Evan's story. Because
Okay,
I had
so-
something happen to me in the theater as well. A couple of random things.
What's going on at Avatar?
We're at the movies. 3 of us.
Okay.
We'll take that out.
But it wasn't enough to like.
It's legal.
I felt fine. It wasn't,
Isn't
and
he?
it hit
Definitely
me.
gonna
But
cut that out.
the 3D, we watched it in 3D. Do
Oh
not
my
recommend
God. Why would you do that?
because I
You're
didn't buy the
supposed to.
tickets.
You need
I
your
was-
goggles.
The glasses took
I
me.
just
like 30
told Grant
minutes.
how you can't watch a movie in 3D last week.
It took me like 30 minutes to get used to it. Like it was hurting my eyes, and I was just so pissed at the beginning, because you couldn't wear them off because then it was like a little bit blurry. Like you could see like the 3D effects. Got through that. So after the movie, we're all walking down the lobby. Have to decide. Okay, we all have to go to the bathroom. Fine. 2 of the guys that are in my group, they go to use the bathrooms that are right there, right next to the Coke machine and the popcorn seasoning station. There's 2 bathrooms. There's a handicap bathroom and a regular bathroom.
Okay.
Okay. I'm standing there, mind my own business. Somebody nudges me and he's like, Ryan's in there. Ryan's in there. And I was like, dude, what are you talking about? I was like, what? I was like, yeah, Ryan's in the bathroom. So I look up, not realizing Ryan is in the handicap bathroom. And a dude in a wheelchair is
Oh,
being
no.
pushed and trying to get into the handicap bathroom.
Oh no.
And it's locked.
This is my
It
worst
is-
nightmare.
Locked. And I'm laughing hysterically. I had to walk away. I go down, find Colby.
Ryan's in there.
And I'm whispering in his ear at the urinals in the other bathroom, like, Ryan's in the bathroom. And Colby's like, yeah, dude, I know. And I was like, no, Colby, you don't get this. Ryan is in the handicap bathroom and somebody's trying to get in. And he just stares at me and he like walks out. He like is done, finished right then and there. So supposedly, Ryan, the guy is leaving because it's locked because somebody else is in there. Ryan walks out, looks, sees that a man was trying to get him, just puts his head down and walks away. Funniest thing of my life. Like, you had to be in the moment to realize this is the first time ever in my life. Like, okay, you use a handicap bathroom because you just got to go, and nothing ever happens like this.
Actual person in a wheelchair needed the bathroom.
Needed to use it. And a capable Ryan is hogging it.
Is it the handicapped stall in a public bathroom, or is this like a separate?
No, this is a
one
private,
door,
shut the door,
luxury box.
bathroom.
It's a luxury box. Oh no. Yeah, I used to be guilty of that in like handicapped stalls in public bathrooms when I was growing up, and then I believe listener Ben V had this situation happen to him and told us how like traumatizing it is. So I haven't used a handicapped stall since. I go to
don't because I'm not handicapped.
I just couldn't believe that happened in front of my eyes. Like, I've never seen it happen.
I think the only move to do at that point is to
stay in there as long as you can.
Yeah, you can't leave until like you have, especially if your friends are there. Like you need to be texting Ryan saying, "Hey, there's someone outside. You might just want to be in there a while, or like face the music." And then it's up to you what to do.
I couldn't believe it. Yeah. I was freaking out for like the entire car ride home.
That's tough. Alex, what weird things happened to you while you saw Avatar?
Well, two, I'd say high school age kids came and sat down to the left of me.
Why does this always happen to you?
I don't know. It was pretty annoying. This one actually made me mad. I'd already seen the movie, so I don't know why I was getting that mad, but I still was. They were sitting to the left of me. They were just sending Snapchat videos of them talking out loud to whoever they were Snapchatting. And then they would play the videos they got back from these girls of them talking out loud. And like the kids behind them were getting pissed and they were throwing popcorn at him. Kid stands up. He's like, "You got a fucking problem with me?" And the kids just didn't say anything. And it was so stupid and dumb. And then, so he makes a scene. And then 5 minutes later, when they're ambushing the train, Evan, like right in the beginning.
Yep.
They're like riding those like, I don't know, lizard looking thing, dragon looking things. And he stands up, this kid stands up, points at the screen and says, "Oh my God, it's a dragon!" And just screaming, and then looks at me. He's like, "Do you see the dragon?" And I was just like, "Are you serious? This kid's doing this right now?" Just full on screaming. And just looked me right in the face like, "Do you see the dragon?" in a high-pitched squeal. I was like, this kid's a 4-year-old.
What did you say? You saw it, right?
I just looked at him, just gave him a dirty death stare, and then looked away. And then he got kicked out roughly 10 minutes later.
Did you knock
on his
him?
Friend? No. But I'm sure everyone else in the theater. No, I didn't. Oh, you thought I was going to get up, go to the security people, and be like, "Hey, kick this guy out"? No.
I could see you doing it.
Maybe if it was my first viewing experience, I'd consider it. Anyways, got kicked out. Thought it would be fine after that. Kids behind us, a kid lets out a huge rip fart.
That's funny. That plays.
I laughed. I thought it was funny. Kid gets up, goes to the bathroom, and takes a huge dump, apparently, because he came back like 25 minutes later. And then he comes back, and Evan, you know how they like hiss at each other in the movie?
Yep.
Super, super awkward and uncomfortable.
It's not that awkward and uncomfortable.
When the kid comes back from his dump, all his friends started hissing at him.
No, that's funny. That's good comedy.
That was funny. And then to top it off, like there's 35-ish, 40 minutes left in the movie, and 4 like 70-year-old men walk in with flashlights on and are with their popcorn and drinks looking for their seats. There's 40 minutes left in this movie.
They're getting ready for the next movie.
And they're like looking around.
They're that early.
They're just early for the next movie.
They're so oblivious. They don't even realize like people are watching a movie. And then they look around. They're like, "Oh." And then they just walk out of the theater. I was like, what is going on? Every time I go somewhere, I have such a weird movie going experience.
There's something about you, because I've only ever had things at the movies happen when I'm with you. But that's even worse than anything I've ever had.
Yeah, we walked down and Drew's like, "What was going on in there?" I'm like, yeah, I don't know, man.
Do you think that like whole make a scene in the movie, is that like that generation's version of when Remember that time during like when Call of Duty was big and middle school people go quad and like just scream it in public places? Is that what this generation is like brought up thinking it's like funny?
Just like a high school age thing to just be loud and obnoxious in public because you think you're funny. But then like
and with
actually, I realize it's not funny.
And with everyone's like ADD these days, there's no way those kids can like even sit. Like, why are they even there? They can't sit through a 3-hour movie. No chance.
Yeah, they wouldn't have made it. I mean, they were already screaming within the first 20 minutes and had everyone hate them. They got kicked out.
Yeah, you told on them.
So,
and rightfully so.
I didn't, but someone did, and good for them. So I did that last week during the week. Then I had Christmas.
Christmas.
Well, actually, Friday I went to the local bar. That was fun.
Yeah.
So that was fun. And then, are we talking about Christmas all at the same time, or am I supposed to just break down my Christmas right now?
I say run through it.
Okay. Christmas Eve, just watched The Lions. Didn't see any family. Didn't do anything. Watched a movie with my family. Watched The Glass Onion. Already had seen it, but my family didn't, so I had to watch that again.
That's the talk of the town. That's what talking about watching too. We didn't end up watching it, but Glass Onion's got everyone intrigued.
It just came out on streaming service.
Yeah, so we watched that. Had already seen it.
No church?
Not church was at 9:30. I vowed that if I'm not going to go to church during the year, I can't be a creaster either. So just no church.
No church.
It was an argument. My mom was very disappointed that I wouldn't go. So she watched on YouTube. Good for her. Live stream.
That's a move. That's a move. Yep. It makes you feel kind of good.
Granted, the movie ended at like 9:40, and everyone's like, "Oh, we missed church!" Like, because probably no one wanted to really go. Anyways,
meanwhile, like they're picking out the movie. It's like 7:30. Alex is like looking at Glass Onion, 2-hour, 10-minute runtime. Yeah, let's watch this movie.
Yeah, basically how it happened. And then Christmas Day, family was supposed to show up at what time did I wake up? My sister woke me up at 8:00, which is so ridiculous.
Presents.
Still does that.
Like walks in your room right away. Like walks in your room and says, "Alex, get up."
Yes. No, she starts by yelling from downstairs. They're all sitting in the living room. It's like 8
You open them up right away.
Listen, I will explain. This is how it happens every year.
You're an adult, dude. You don't open up presents right away.
Can you just listen, Evan? Listen.
I don't put my shit up until the afternoon.
I'm trying to sleep. I had some drinks the night before, I'm trying to sleep it off.
You finally drank on Christmas Eve.
Mm-hmm. And it's 8 a.m. I just hear my sister yelling, "Alex, it's Christmas, come downstairs." Just screaming. It's so ridiculous. Dog comes up, mugs me in my bed.
That's nice.
And then after that, my mom starts yelling. So then Emily and my mom just yelling, "Come downstairs." I was like, whatever. So came down, wanted to get a cup of coffee before anything. I go to get it. I was like, "Sit down. We got to open presents." This happens every single year. I'm like, we haven't even eaten breakfast or anything. And so then before I can even sit down, my sister's handing out gifts and all ready to just open everything out. And that's how she always does it. She needs to open it like the second she's awake.
No way.
So then we're done opening gifts at like 8:15, 8:30. And it's like, now what?
Now you go play
the
Call of Duty.
family's not coming over till 12:30. So that leads me to the next thing. My family was supposed to come over at 12:30, and no one showed up until 2. So just me and my mom, dad, and sister just sitting around, and we're like, well, we might as well drink, I guess, until they get here. So Christmas Day turned into a pretty large drinking fest. I wasn't expecting that.
Nice.
Because my family's usually lame, but for some reason everyone had fun this time. Still ended at 8 p.m. ish, and then we watched Four Christmases. Have you guys seen that movie?
Great movie. I always recommend it to people.
Really good. Really funny.
It's with Vince Vaughn
and Reese Witherspoon.
Yeah, really good movie, actually.
Yeah, good movie. Watch
the list, Evan. Add it to the list.
Add it to the list.
And then the 26th, I had off, and I went to the rec center and played basketball with a friend of the podcast, Ben.
Wow.
And I hit 12 threes in a row, Grant, just so you're aware. At one point,
Like, who's guarding you? Nobody.
unguarded, 12 in a row,
Still
though.
consistent. Better than City
Shot
right
50 threes around the arc.
now. Yep.
Any guesses on my percentage?
Bar always finds its level. You said
Oh,
you
wait.
shot 50?
Shot 50. 5 from each corner, and then the top, and then the elbows. 3-point line. What did you shoot, Grant, when you shot 100 threes?
Like
Just trying to remember.
37% on 100.
All right,
like
so
that.
what do you think what I make out of
Was
it?
these 12s in a row part of that 50?
No, this is
Good
warm up.
question. On 50, I feel like you could make 20. I bet you could go 40%.
Evan?
50, I'm going under. I'm going to say 32, 33%.
50 even percent. 25 out of 50. Still got it. Ben went 23 out of 50, so. And then I was only 80% from the line, though, so that's embarrassing.
When Ben always calls it the Y, is that just a place?
YMCA.
It's the new one, the ProMedica building.
Ooh, by Cage Ball.
No.
Nope. No, it's
Oh,
a brand.
you
It's
have
the
no
brand new
idea.
hospital. It's a
Well, then
brand
no
new
idea.
hospital out by.
On M52.
There's a new hospital out there, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, by the movie theater, kind of.
Not
MJR?
even
Not
close
really.
to the movie theater. Not
Same
even
road.
close to the movie theater. It's
Same
closer to
road.
Danley's.
Okay.
Yeah. If you haven't seen it, I mean,
Close to the movie theater.
I'm just trying to give them a general idea.
you
It's the same
high?
road. It's the same road.
Okay, yeah.
Grant's
Is it-
terrible with
and
directions. It's not going to
N50
help him.
It's like, no.
Tecumseh is close to MIS. Like that, just same distance.
That's
Like
not
what you're comparing.
the
Same road,
No.
Alex. Same road. Same road.
That is not the same.
Like, it's not even like close to the
50,
corner.
That's the same road.
It's not even close to the corner.
Doghouse is close
It's
to
like
Before
10
MIS.
Adrian,
feet
right?
from dude. That's where it
Okay.
is.
Yeah, that's not
Right next to
MJR.
it.
That's not MJR.
Mox is
No.
close to MIS. It's on the same road, dude.
It's not on the same, first of all, that's not on the same road. So that's where it is. It's nice. Some
Mux is
old
right
men were
next
having
to-
some
Mux is right
riveting
next to Evan's
pickleball
house.
games.
Mux and Vodka are
Same.
neighbors.
Yes. Mox and Vodka.
Nope, different road, guys. Raisin,
Mm-mm.
It runs
Raisin
into
Valley
it.
and Mux are the same
You
road.
would drive onto Vodka's property if you stayed down the same road as Mux.
Nope, you would miss it by an inch. It would
Oh
be
my
just on your
God.
right.
No, you.
Trust me, I
I've
know,
seen
I
people
worked
go
there.
off those railroad tracks.
You would hit the gate.
There's
black
a
gate.
little drive right there.
All right, this is semantics debate. You hooped. It was just you two?
Yes.
You guys couldn't get more?
Him and his friend asked to play 2-on-2, but we had just gotten there. Didn't have our shoes on, so
Which one of you said no? Who said no?
I did.
Oh,
I said, give me a
fast.
minute. I said, give us a few minutes, and the kid just put on his sweats and left. So, I mean, that's not really my fault.
He read your body language like a champ. He said that kid has no intention of playing.
We hadn't even taken any shots yet because we had to shoot on 9 feet until the lady came and raised it to 10. Why it was down to 9 feet, I have no idea.
So you could dunk.
But, so yeah, that's what I did.
Nice. Evan, your Christmas.
Christmas week. Been busy. Basketball, work. Just because I'm on break doesn't mean I don't work, Alex.
That's right,
You're so
Alex.
sensitive.
No, you thought I was just sitting at home this whole week,
Yeah,
not
you
doing
assumed too
anything.
much,
Well,
Alex.
I just saw that you're at the movies and having fun during the day, so I thought maybe that's what you're doing every day.
Alex thinks teachers are not a big part of our society and they have it easy.
Oh.
Yes. Alex thinks
And-
he deserve to get paid less.
And likes
I heard
Jared
it
from
out of his
Subway.
Yep. So, saw Avatar last Monday, the whatever that would have been, the 19th.
Poor Ryan.
Then had 2 basketball games on the 20th and 22nd. Went 1-1 that week.
All right.
What else was exciting that week?
Not easy to keep high school kids focused on Christmas week.
It was a little difficult,
I used to let myself go that week.
especially this morning. Very difficult. Christmas, it didn't really feel like Christmas to me. Like, yeah, you had the winter storm and everybody freaked out over nothing.
Elliot.
Everyone freaked out over nothing.
Yes.
it was a dusting in town, and it was just super windy. That's all it was. That's all it was.
How cold did it get in T-Town?
It was like down to like 20, 30 below with the wind chill.
Wind chill, like, yeah, negative 15-ish.
It's pretty shitty.
The roads weren't great coming from the Detroit area to
you guys got more snow up there.
But there was more snow. But the wind is really what made it terrible.
Yeah, but you drive a mammoth truck. That wind ain't blowing you over.
I'm not saying I had any issues.
Yes, agreed. Well, what road was that? 94 had an issue, Alex, right? 94, 96?
96 is what I was on.
Problem. Whatever. Christmas Eve, just like Alex, I did go somewhere. Went into town, watched the Lions lose. And
Where'd you go?
Huh?
Where'd you go?
Currently where I'm at right now. Grandparents.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
I ate so much brunch that, like, if you don't have brunch on, like, Christmas or Christmas Eve, you're doing it wrong. You are doing it wrong.
Didn't have any.
Oh, my gosh.
Alex didn't have time. He had to open presents.
Yeah, I'm getting there.
We usually have breakfast casserole, but my dad made it this year, and it's just, I hope he hears this. It's just not as good as my grandmother's. It's just not even close.
Well,
He knows it.
congrats.
I told him that, though.
The spread was perfect. You had a little bit of everything. The only thing that was missing, I wish it was biscuits and gravy. Had biscuits, I just need the gravy.
Side dish.
Well, everything
Dry
else, there was
biscuits
everything
for
else.
breakfast.
That's why you want gravy. Alex, did people like put jelly on it? It's delicious, so I don't know what you're missing out on.
Just surprised people make biscuits without gravy.
Homemade strawberry
Peanut butter
jelly.
sandwiches without jelly.
Well, some people don't like
Wyatt.
jelly. Yes. I ate so much that morning. I felt like disgustingly sick the entire day.
That's how I felt Christmas night. I felt terrible.
I felt like almost as worse if I was like hungover. That's how much I ate at brunch.
It's
Just
impressive.
That's disgusting.
I had 3 mammoth cinnamon rolls. Just fucking downed them. I had 2, and then I went back for seconds, and I filled up my entire plate again, and I had to grab another one.
So would seconds be considered 4 cinnamon rolls? You double up your first serving.
I didn't double up. I could barely finish the third one, but I still did clean my plate. Had to.
Did anybody else get to eat, or did you eat all the food?
I did go first.
That's what it sounds like.
The food was ready, and I did go. So that was quality time. Christmas Day, didn't really do much. I really kind of slept in, woke up, and I was like, I probably should get up. It's Christmas Day.
I saw your mom's nice picture on Facebook.
Woke up around 8:30. Oh, my family hosted a party Friday night.
Let me go find that photo.
I'm so busy that like my parents won't tell me anything what's going on. And I think I got told either the night before or that morning that like, oh yeah, by the way, we're having a party. And I was like, oh,
Good to know.
good to know. Good to know. Good to know.
Make sure I shower that day.
Yep. So that's why I didn't go to the local watering hole with Alex.
Told me all week he was going. Even double checked on Thursday. Hey, Evan, you still in? Yeah, 100%.
At that time, I didn't know. My family doesn't tell me anything.
And the thing is, I knew Evan had a party. I just didn't. I didn't want to be the one to tell him.
Other people know more stuff about me than I know.
Oh, look at Ruby under the Christmas tree. I'm seeing that photo now. It's really nice.
It's a great picture.
Then Christmas, we didn't open up our presents like Alex until the afternoon. I think it was past noon, 11:30 noon. Just don't need to.
I can't say I've ever opened my presents later than 8:30 a.m.
Because now that we're 25, like,
Oh, trust me, I
Here's-
don't need to open them at that time.
here's a couple things. Enjoy your day. It's like I don't really need. What do I need? What do I like? Am dying to like. Oh my god, I can't wait to open it.
A vehicle in the driveway.
I
That's
bought
what
it
I got
myself.
this year.
So Merry Christmas to me.
I got a Lamborghini.
I didn't really do much Christmas Day. Kind of just laid around with the family. Watched Christmas Vacation, like a family tradition. Watch Alex's fantasy quarterback stink.
Job.
Still
Did you
had more
start?
points than yours, Evan. That's crazy.
Mine had 10. How many did you have?
13 with 3 picks.
Oh. And then I watched my fantasy football team just implode over the last 2 weeks. Last week it didn't no harm, no foul because I had to buy. This week it was just disgusting. I'm over fantasy football. I think I'm going to try to miss the playoffs.
It'd be hard to come back after what happened to you. It had to be the lowest scoring playoff performance of all time.
We don't throw that word around a lot.
I was stunned when I looked at that. I was like, I haven't come back.
I didn't even need to check.
Four players
I
left.
didn't even check half of it. Most of Saturday and Sunday, I didn't even check it.
If it makes you feel better, you faced the guy that scored the most points this week. So now, granted, you wouldn't have beat anybody in the league, though.
I was just about to say, I wasn't going to beat anybody anymore.
Unbelievably low score. When you just opened the app and looked at the semifinals, I was like,
I don't deserve to make the playoffs.
Cadmus family had a rough go of it this week.
64. I mean, that's tough.
Yep. And then
McCaffrey got shut down. That was crazy.
Hunter's never won a playoff game. Ever.
Monday,
He's had
last
3
night.
bye weeks.
Diggs and CMC had their worst weeks of the year. That's crazy.
Last night went bowling with friends of the podcast.
Evan, you're bad at bowling, man.
I am the worst bowler. I simply just can't do it. This is one sport that I can't do.
Ben sent me a video when you were in the 9th frame, and you were at 52.
I am bad at bowling. I try to spin it, and it goes in the gutter. I try to hit it straight, and it goes off right. I try to overdo it, and then I overdo it.
It's not that hard, Evan.
Evan, where do you look when you throw?
You got to look at those little diamonds on the floor.
That's what I was trying to do, but then I'm so a head case bowling. They're okay, I get 7 pins or 6 pins. I'm okay, I'm gonna pick up the spare. Half the time, this is what I would do. I'm gonna pick up the spare. I would try to spin it, and it just wouldn't work.
Oh man!
Why would you try to do that? You gotta.
Or I would try to spin it on the first throw, hit a gutter, and then just try to throw it right down the middle and get 7 or 8, and that would be it.
Yeah.
Oh, there's 2 sports you're bad at then.
Oh,
officially.
Wow. Thanks a lot, man.
You don't know what the other one is.
Oh, skiing. I know I'm better at that.
Yeah, it's skiing. It's got to be skiing.
I will refuse to get better at that.
That's not
I think you could be better at it. You're just not choosing
to. That is one sport that's too expensive.
It's an Olympic sport,
Grant. I don't
it's an activity.
I don't care about.
It's an Olympic sport.
It's an activity.
That was my week recap. Lost a game.
Bowling's not really a sport either. It's
lost another game this morning. 11 a.m. tip-off. Christmas special. 11 a.m. tip-off. Lost JV game today. Didn't play very well.
It's on ESPN too?
The Ocho was on.
I feel like this week is a big county tournament week. Do you guys have a tournament?
No, we don't. Varsity has a tournament though, Grant.
All right.
When we were in high school, Evan, we just did scrimmages.
Yeah. We had nothing over break. It was wonderful.
The scrimmages, the alumni that came back and Cody with a C would whap threes in their face at the rec center.
We went to Jackson High and did a scrimmage at 8 a.m. and we rode to it.
I don't think so.
Got pulled over, nice. Evan.
We went to Onset or Blissfield.
Felt like it was farther.
No, it wasn't.
Well, it sucked. Whatever.
We had a run we ran at halftime.
Yeah, we were so bad that
is such a JV move.
We had a run at Blissfield. Dude, we definitely had a run after the game too.
Yep,
and that's fine. Halftime's a weird.
During and after. Get on the line. Worst thing in sports. Last Chance U Season 2 basketball came out, by the way.
I miss football.
It's not as good as football.
I might go watch Season 1 of EMCC, run that back. The glory days.
I did that this summer. Good stuff.
Anything else notable, Evan?
I don't think so. That's about it.
All right. I'll try to rip through mine.
What was your trip to the Great North, Grant?
Rip through mine quick, and then we'll end with the listener question that we got about Christmas. So Tuesday, about a week ago in the morning, I set off for a 7-hour drive from Minneapolis to Munising, Michigan.
7 hours.
Great
a stretch of land I've never driven before. Whoa, staticky. It might have been Evan's mic.
Oh, is that me?
No, it might have been. It was a weird thing to static. Anyway, through Wisconsin, it happened again. Through Wisconsin, straight east. It's a wide state. Wisconsin's a very wide state. Broke it up, kind of stopped halfway for an hour to do some work. Hopped back on the road. Got there, I don't know, around dinner time on Tuesday. I've been there until Monday, so yesterday morning, drove back here. Picked the 2 days in that region of the country that it really didn't snow that whole week. So very great timing on my part. Once I got to Munising, from Wednesday till Sunday through Christmas Day, we're talking a good total accumulation of 2 to 3 feet of snow. Felt like I lived in Buffalo, New York. It wasn't quite as bad as what I saw the videos of there, but it was like when we went to Munising for New Year's Eve, but like way windier. So you couldn't see anything when you were driving, like a thing when we were going to their friend's house or going to the barge. Like you just couldn't see in front of your face. It was wild. Their back porch, the snow was up to our chest by the end of that stretch. And shout out to Matt. He shoveled it off so Riggs could go out and pee. Because we also needed an escape route in case there was a fire. You just have to be able to get out of your house. And you want to be able to get out in multiple directions. So he walked up there and shoveled it off. And he got it done. What else did I do?
Grant, which way did you go? Did you go north or south?
South. Like I went through the stretch that goes through Wasau, like to Green Bay. And then went up. So I went through Escanaba along the Green Bay. And the Green Bay, I mean, it's nothing crazy. It's just a nice body of water, I guess. But there's like no one up there. Very easy drive once you get going. Not a lot of population up there. Just got to make sure you have a lot of gas and you got warm clothes in case anything breaks down. I drank a lot of whiskey over break. Probably too much. Don't need to be drinking for a while. Had a little too much whiskey on Wednesday night, which is a byproduct of, living by yourself and getting after it. So anyways, morning after the whiskey night, one of the whiskey nights, had my first ever massage, in person, full body massage. I thought you were saying
couples massage?
No, this was part of my Christmas gift. I got one, Marissa got one, Katie got one, and it was like we were back to back appointments, hour long. You go in, it's actually really easy. Like they just tell you like, hey, this is what this is. You can go no undies or undies. Yeah. I went undies on.
Kept the undies on.
Kept the undies on for the first time.
Stripped down.
They have it. It's a nice like heated bed. She steps out of the room, lets you change, get into it under the covers, walk in,
Get into it.
It just feels good. That's all.
I don't
It was
think I
nice.
could do it. I don't think I could do one.
Now my problem, at least maybe it's just my first one, and I'm
This
talking after
sounds like
that.
Your first sex experience.
No, I just couldn't like turn my
none of us
brain
have had
off.
sex, Alex.
Like I was just like thinking,
Right.
like she has to do this for a living, or like she just has to touch all these people's like bodies and massage out their kinks, and I was like, I don't know. And then you're just thinking about the
Maybe we should
room,
move on, Grant. I'm
like
worried
the
about what you're
lighting.
going to say here.
No, I was saying like I got back and I couldn't turn my brain off, and also she was a pretty like petite woman and like her hands are super strong. And you're like, wow, it's kind of impressive, but like it actually hurts. Like it was a painful massage. It was like
I don't think massages feel that like they feel good, but they always hurt.
I mean,
my impression.
I think
Not that I've ever
from
had
what
one.
she told me, she's like, you can just say exactly like you can say, don't touch my feet, don't do this, don't do that. You can say
God, she touched your feet.
she massage your feet. They do your neck.
That's
They do your
a no.
neck. They do your neck really good. I mean, it does feel really good. You wake up in an absolute trance. Like post massage, you like walk back out into the light, and you got like marks from the little face pillow when you're with your face down, like all over your face, and you're like, oh my God, where am I? You gotta hydrate because it takes some of the water out of you. It's a wild thing. It feels good though. Would recommend to try at least once.
You didn't sell it well, I'll be honest.
I mean, it was super relaxing. What more can I say?
Super.
You're a child. It really wasn't. It really was not even close to what people make jokes about. And then Thursday went on a bar crawl to some of the great local watering holes in Munising.
Looked
I saw a
lit.
Snapchat video of that.
Looked like you guys had lots of people at those bars.
A bar crawl for Katie to celebrate her baby that's on the way. First ever annual. Went to the East
You should
Channel.
probably clarify that she wasn't drinking on this bar crawl, Grant.
Yeah, no, she was sober on the bar crawl. Sober participant. Went to East Channel. Again, this isn't a blizzard, so like can't see like in front of you driving in the middle of the day. Get down to East Channel. Never been there before. Only We're the only 4 people in the bar, 5 people in the bar, and the bartender, who's super nice. Drink 1 beer. Hit the road to By George. Alex, you've been there. It was the place on Labor Day, the brewery, where they have the big board up there and you pick your beers.
Yep.
Only 5 people in the bar. Talk to the bartender, get some beers. And then our last stop on the bar crawl was the Barge Inn. So that was
The
bumping.
Barge.
The Barge is always bumping. There's like 25 people there. Got a beer there.
So you
And
had
then
3 beers on your bar crawl.
Pretty much. Maybe I had 2 at the Barge. I kind of forget. People were showing up
This
at the
is
Barge.
riveting.
That was the day after I was hungover, so I really had a battle there in the afternoon after massage. And then Friday, had a really good dinner where Marissa used to work. Had a top 5 burger I've ever had in my entire life. Wow. So if you ever go to Tracy's in Munising, get the Meadow Burger. Highly recommend. It was, let me see if I can find it real quick. What was in this thing? I just know there was pinconning cheese from Wisconsin, and that stuff, I mean, that's the real deal. You really taste the pinconning cheese in a burger. The Meadow Burger. 8 ounces of short rib blend beef, Wilson's pinconning cheese, hardwood smoked bacon, cherry mostarda, which is like cherry mustard, burnt onions.
It says Pinconning, Michigan.
Oh, maybe it is Michigan. Whoops. Yeah, I'm an idiot. It is Michigan. Burnt onions, garlic, and some fries.
Alex is
Really good
out.
burger.
You
Top
can
5.
always get them without.
Oh, the burnt onions. Christmas Eve, played some Jenga. Their family goes to they go to family friend's house, off the records. Played some Jenga. That was fun. Played some Heads Up, a classic game that you just play, charades basically. Played a lot of euchre on the trip. Question for you guys. Do you guys know what fruit and veggie pizza is? They're separate
Yes.
things, but like fruit pizza, veggie pizza.
Yes.
Yes.
I didn't really ever know what that
We had
was,
it at
and
our
I
fantasy
was.
draft this year. I guess you just weren't there.
Yeah, I guess I wasn't. Was I? No,
Yeah.
I was not.
No. We
So,
had
yeah.
fruit pizza there.
My first time like really seeing it, especially the veggie. Maybe I've seen a fruit and didn't realize it, but people were acting like I was an alien. And I was like, I don't know what this is, but I'll try it. Fruit pizza, pretty good. Veggie pizza, not so good. I just don't
I'm
like
not
raw
a fan
broccoli.
of either.
So a lot of raw broccoli on veggie pizza, and I wasn't a fan of that.
I'm not sure anyone can just sit there honestly and say they love raw broccoli.
I can.
Evan.
Alex,
Really?
a veggie tray, broccoli, dip it in a little blue cheese or a little ranch, boom, done.
All right. Well, that's not raw.
Yeah, but
It's
I'm
not
not.
really what we're saying.
It's raw.
But
It's
you
not
just
cooked.
eat raw broccoli with no sauce.
I can do that. I have done it.
And you enjoy it.
I did it yesterday. Yes.
You enjoy it.
Yes, it's broccoli.
On your mother's life.
On my mother's life, I enjoy broccoli. Any way it's
I like
cooked.
broccoli too when it's cooked. Key word.
I don't even really like it then.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I don't really either, but I can eat it.
Christmas Day, got up around the same time Alex did because Marissa's sister Katie is kind of like Emily in a way where up early, open your
There's
door.
No way, you guys are
Guys
adults.
wake up.
You're
Guys wake up.
adults.
Guys wake
Katie's
up. It's
almost
Christmas.
30.
You're adults. Wait, open presents whenever you.
She was up and at him, got us up, started opening
Like
presents.
came in
calling,
and woke you up type of deal.
walked in the door like the Big Bird video, bust in the door. Christmas morning, guys, wake up. Probably was opening presents by 8:30. I did grab a cup of coffee because I could not start without that. Marissa's mom was the gift distributor, the overrated thing I've been talked about. I'm thankful for her because it was some presents to sort out, and I would not have wanted to do that. But she kept it moving, and she spaced it out too, for where like no one like ran out of gifts before the other person. Like it was like you, then you. But if someone had more, then like they go like a little quicker. Very good at
I'm
that.
imagining the Immels do it big and there's just thousands of presents you got to go through for like hours.
There was a lot of gifts because it was like their grandparents' ones were brought to the house, and then my mom sent the gifts that were for me because I wasn't coming home with Marissa up. So there was just a big like mix of presents from
Pile
multiple
of
families.
gifts.
There was
Just
a decent
rich
chunk.
people galore.
No, nothing crazy. There was a lot of gifts.
And I saw your gift last year, your Christmas last year, Grant. You had thousands of presents to open.
That's because my mom wraps everything. She's one of
Thousands,
those
Evan.
people that wraps. It was not though. But then when we opened
Like-
them,
2 hours of opening shit.
That's not true. That's because I was on a Zoom call.
Everything was wrapped too. Like individual coasters were wrapped. It was ridiculous.
My mom wraps a lot of things.
I had like
She used
3
to-
gifts, and Grant had like 50. I was like, wow, this is not the same.
There was a stretch in middle school where she, like for people's birthdays, she would go to like the dollar store and buy like 30 like small things. So like, spending like less than $50-$30. But she'd individually wrap all of them and tie them like on a string so they all connected. And you'd like work your way down. And it was just like, it looked like a ton. But at the end of the day, it's not like a ton of stuff. It's just like she loves wrapping individual things. So, well, a lot to unwrap. We had a really good breakfast. Shout out to Katie and Matt. Made banana bread French toast, which was phenomenal. You can tell by Evan's reaction that he'd be all over that. And for anyone wondering, it's as simple as you think. You make like banana bread the day before, and then that's your toast. You just make the French toast batter, and that, boom, dip it in the batter, throw it on however you're cooking it. It was fantastic. So shout out to banana bread French toast. And then the only last thing I had, as I watched the movie Neighbors for the second time. I had seen it a long time ago, but it'd been a long time, so you kind of forget the movie and forget all the lines. That's a really funny movie. I think it's very underrated. It's like in the other guys. Yeah, with Seth Rogen
and Zac Efron. I saw
Franco.
that in theaters in high school.
You should watch it again.
Brag.
If you haven't watched it again, you should watch it again. It is a laugh out loud funny at like the jokes they were making, and like it's very, very rated R, and it's hilarious.
It's like neighbors with a kid, and their neighbors are a frat house.
It's so funny.
It's a funny movie.
I was pissing myself like watching it back. I was like, wow, this is a great movie. So that's worth a watch. And then our listener question was, what was everybody's favorite gift they got for Christmas?
I haven't even had one of my Christmases yet. Like, I haven't had like one of my family Christmases. So
Yours is TBD. You might.
Yep.
What's the one you
Currently, Evan. Current.
Any gift you've opened so far that was your favorite?
just drop my socks.
Huh?
I'm nothing of my favorite gift. It was just like a bunch of like necessity things.
I didn't get anything like super cool.
New underwear?
We're 25, Grant. We don't
didn't
get
even
like
get new underwear.
Gadgets like you do.
I didn't even get new underwear and socks.
I didn't get a
and that was
single
on my
gadget.
list.
I wish I got gadgets. That'd be fun. Like if I got like a spy kit or like a Nerf gun.
Technically, I got a
I
gadget.
asked for a Nerf gun like 2 years ago and I got it. It was awesome. I probably gift cards where I can just buy myself stuff, you know?
You got a gun, Alex?
I got super comfortable sweatpants that I'm wearing right now.
Kyle Rittenhouse?
Gary got some sweatpants too.
I've worn these like 4 days in a row since I got them. These probably smell like cheese. Growing the fungus in me.
What was your gadget, Alex?
Oh, it's not a gadget, really. I got an espresso machine.
Oh, that's a gadget for sure.
Yeah, so that's that.
Talk
Probably my
about
favorite
rich
gift.
people Christmas, Alex.
Espresso boy.
Yeah, until I, run out
brand?
of pods and then I have to buy a
What brand?
Nespresso, N-E, espresso.
Shopping?
I was gonna buy one right now.
Which one did you get?
Not the Vertuo.
Vertuo Gray Plus Next Deluxe.
Mine's black.
Well, Alex, which one did you get?
I'm looking, Evan. Just Grant, you go while I find it.
Mine is something I'm wearing as well, like Evan's sweatpants. With my cold feet, I finally got a pair of these
Slippers.
slippers with the
Oh,
fur.
nice. Some
I've been missing out,
moccasins.
guys. These
Moccasins.
are incredible. Why
Yeah.
did no one ever force me to buy these? These are awesome.
Grant, I wore them last year and you made fun of me every time. I had them.
Everyone should own a pair of these. These
You
are
They're
made
great.
fun of me several times.
especially
Evan,
someone
I
like
have
me.
the Vertuo Plus gray.
Oh, shit.
Black. Black, actually. Not matte black. Regular black.
Vertuo
20,000?
$9.99.
$5,000?
Vertuo Next Deluxe or no?
Vertuo Plus.
Oh, as a water thing on the side.
Yes.
Wow.
Did your parents buy it at Walmart? Because it's $10 cheaper.
I hope they didn't buy it at Macy's.
Is it expensive at Macy's?
It's like, well, I think this is like a separate thing they add on, but it's like $250 there. Whereas
the pods are really expensive.
Nespresso, it's like $170.
Like I got 70 pods, and I think they were like $80 or something.
Alex, you should have asked for a Whoop band and like had them buy the first month of the subscription and hope they never remembered to cancel it.
I don't really think I want a Whoop band.
You don't want
you don't want a what?
Bad you treat your body.
A Whoop band.
What is it? Whoop?
They're too big. They look like too.
You know those things
weird.
that like Justin Thomas and like golfers wear, it like tracks all their health stuff.
Whoop band? Oh, there it is.
I gotta show everyone the gift I got from Grant too.
You do.
Sorry, Alex, I didn't buy you one.
I didn't want Grant to buy me one.
I didn't plan to buy Alex or anyone anything, but I saw it come across my Twitter and I thought it was hilarious. And it was like $10 on Amazon.
Alex, did you give Grant anything? Or are you a scumbag friend?
I am working on that.
Oh, you're a scumbag.
I didn't know he was getting me anything.
No, I guilted him into it.
But he wants me to get him a JJ McCarthy trading card, and it's hard to bring myself to do it.
Why?
Well, you do have to touch it. Whoop band for $300, Alex. Active tracker.
Yeah, but you got to pay like $30 a month to have one. So
that's what
like a monthly subscription.
Yeah.
What was your favorite gift, Grant?
The moccasins.
Oh. Anything else you get that was cool?
I did. I got like a Coleman cooler. It's pretty big. Those are nice coolers. I don't know.
Alex, you can't spend $7 to get Grant a card.
Yeah, yes, I can, Evan.
They're cheap
I
on
planned.
eBay.
I might have already done it for all you know.
Whoa.
Oh, don't buy these off-brand ones, man.
I tried to get the ugliest one I could find.
No, dude.
Why do half of these
helmet?
Yeah, why do half of these cards just have the wrong jerseys on them?
God, I hope Alex didn't do that one. Not that I would be ungrateful. I'd be grateful.
All maize helmet.
What about the all blue helmet with no wings on it?
Hold on.
Do you still have your K9 card?
Of course.
This spawned from when I lived with Alex, so I felt like I had to get him something. I got him a K9 card the year the Michigan State won 11 football games. It's pretty sick.
Oh, that's nice. Alex, you are a scumbag friend, aren't you?
I got
the back of it's a little bad. Baja Blast socks, right?
Yeah.
All timer.
Alex, just go to Spencer's and just walk into the back and find something for Grant.
All right, we can do that.
Those are the best gifts.
Hey, yo.
I think Kenneth Walker's truly 5'10". I don't think so.
Yeah. All right. Let's get the Lions football. Not as fun as Christmas, but it is sports, and we did our best to avoid talking about sports this show.
Throw in the towel.
We could probably end the show.
Evan, it's not
what's the point?
over.
Evan, your puddle behavior on Saturday.
You guys were too happy, too chipper about it.
It was 14-7, and you called it over, and like the season's over, and we're missing the playoffs.
Alex, what do you say about football? I can watch after the first drive of each team and know the outcome of the game.
Yes, but I usually don't just tell everyone it's over and the season's over and
was
7 and 8. It was 7-0, and you said 7 and 8. No, you weren't, but it's still disappointing that
you were not wrong that
McAdoo.
day.
You would have been wrong if you watched the Jets game like Wilkins was.
I used to believe in that theory of you can just tell right away, but then I watched the Vikings come back from 33-0. So since then, I've been a changed man where I hold out hope way too long. And it's going to hurt me for a few years because I'm just going to think, you know what? It can happen. Even though it really doesn't. Like for 20 years, that won't happen again. But the game was atrocious. There's two parts of this. The game was disgusting. You wanted to puke all over ourselves. The future, the rest of the season, I think, positive glass half full, is still alive. I don't think we're dead by any means because I believe
we're not dead.
That there is somewhat of a culture change happening. Evan, we're
dead because we know the outcome of what's going to happen in the last game of the year.
You don't know that. That's where only you think
it could change. That's where I think the Packers are on the way down and out, and we are on the way up.
The Packers are actually playing the best football right now. One of the best football in the NFL right now. They're on a 4-game win streak.
So are we until last week.
No, we're not anymore. You can't say so were we. No, we're not anymore. We just got.
I said so were we until last week.
By a 6-win team.
I was not
Evan, the
impressed
NFL is
with the
different than
Packers
college, man.
against Miami. I think the Packers were just gifted that game because Tua was concussed and threw 3 of the worst interceptions I've ever seen in my life. I don't think the Packers played that great. I think they were just gift-wrapped the game.
But they just
on
found a way to
Christmas.
win.
Right. Which, credit to them for catching the balls that were thrown to them. But I don't think, like, if we go in there and we play mistake-free football, I think the Packers are still a soft football team, and I think we can bully them around in the trenches.
Run the ball down on the throat.
I don't think they can. I hope not. The crazy thing is we were playing really good run defense until this game. So that's why I would like to think this is an anomaly and not the new norm.
The Panthers found something in our run scheme, run fits, and
They did. We have to correct it. We have to get back. But we were playing good run defense. We were playing good run defense.
correct.
We'll get
Our
back.
pass defense has always been kind of sus the whole year, but our run defense was playing good ball. We gave up 200 yards to Justin Jefferson, but we stopped the run. We stopped the run again against the Jets, and then this happens. I did write this out just because of how gross it was. 30 yards, 35 yards, 21 yards, 38 yards, 21 yards, 33 yards, 28 yards were all running plays that the Panthers had. So that's 7 plays of 20 yards or more, sprinkling a couple 15-yard runs, and they had 2 passes of 40 yards or more in this game. So, I mean, they were like the Globetrotters.
They could have called whatever they wanted and it would have worked.
It was bad.
Felt like
And
that, yeah.
It's really bad. It stings a little bit less because it's Tuesday now. So, like, in the moment, I would have been more skies falling. But I've looked at it, one thing that is very important that I need to get out in front of is Jeff Okudah got benched in this game. And right now, the Okudah fan base, it's gut check time. It's grab your nuts time. It's time for
What
him.
about Jerry Jacobs? What about Alex's guy?
He gave up 1 completion, Evan, and you're going to act like that? And not only
That's
that,
it.
it was
You
a
hold a
very
different
impressive
standard
catch.
for Jeffrey Okudah. Jeff Okudah will give up
No,
1.
Evan. No, Jerry Jacobs didn't miss 8 tackles and suck in coverage.
No, I'm not talking about this game. I'm talking about previous games.
Yes, Evan, in previous games. I'm referring to
You're holding
Jerry
Jeff
Jacobs.
Okudah to a
Jerry
different
Jacobs is
standard.
better than Jeff Okudah, and that's just true, and you know it.
That's just false.
You didn't watch
I
the
don't-
Jets game.
I think we should burn the tape of this game in the sense that, like, I think everyone
We can't
on
just
the
keep burning the
defense-
tape every game, Grant.
I think everyone on this whole defense played bad. So, like, I'm going to take the side of, even though, like, I'm not going to nitpick Jerry Jacobs. I'm not going to nitpick anyone. They all played disgustingly bad this game. I don't know if I can sit here and be like, Iffy Melanfanu led our team in tackles, if that tells you anything.
He
With, like,
sucked
8.
as well.
So it's like Kirby Joseph had one of the worst tackling attempts I've ever seen in my entire life
Also
in the middle of
bad.
the field. So everyone played atrocious. I will just say this: it's gut check time for Okudah. The microscope is on. Need to see the dog in him respond in these last 2 weeks. I mean, this week at home should be kind of a cupcake. You're playing a team that's not very good. You're playing Darnell Mooney, who's a good receiver, but he's no by means
He's
regarded
out, I
as an
thought.
elite receiver. Okay, well then you really
Run the
should
ball
step
down the
up.
throat.
Sure, I'm talking about
They have
Okudah
Chase Claypool.
Okudah
They don't
specifically
need wide receivers.
has got to not be exposed. He doesn't have to make a pick, but he just can't be exposed in this game. He can't get beat for a 30-yard throw in this game. He's just got to play the part, get back to his winning ways that he had early in the year that did exist that I don't want Alex to forget. We're going through a bad stretch right now. He got benched. I
Starting to
get it.
forget.
Positive, thankfully, blessing and a curse, every team we needed to lose also lost. So,
Besides the Packers.
yeah,
Well,
but
we
they're
control that
behind us.
destiny,
We
Evan. We
control
just have
that.
to
We
beat
do
them.
control that.
Yeah, they
Do
control their
that.
destiny.
No,
We just have
they
to
need
beat
a-
We
they
still need help because if Washington wins out, we're not beating them. We're not in. We don't control. Our own
Correct. We
destiny.
need help. They need help.
We
So
need
we
help.
don't control our own destiny.
No one said that. I didn't say that.
We do not. Against the Packers, we do. We control our destiny against the Packers.
Correct.
The scenario is not to get too in the weeds, but all you need to know is, well, we got to win both our game. Well, we don't have to. I actually did the math where there's a way we can get in and go in 1-1, but we need to win 2 games. We need to win 2 football games. The Seahawks need to lose once. The Commanders need to lose once, which seems very feasible. The Seahawks play the Jets and the Rams, both at home. So that's advantage Seahawks. But like they could lose one of those games easily. They're not playing great football. The Commanders also have 2 home games. They play the Browns and the Cowboys to end their season. So the Cowboys may rest people, But Deshaun Watson's playing, and also the Commanders are trying out Carson Wentz at points. Like, they don't know who their quarterback is. They flip-flop back to Carson Wentz. They are likely to lose one game, I would say. So the only thing we need to avoid this weekend is if we lose and the Commanders win, we are officially done. There is no, like, what if. If we lose it all, we're pretty much done, essentially. The 1-1 scenario, to give you guys real hope, is if we go 1-1. All I know, this is what would have to happen. The Packers need to lose to Minnesota, and then Washington and Seattle have to go 0-2, which is far less likely. But we could get it in at 1-1. Let's just hope we go 2-0. Or at least win this week and then see what happens, really, is the main point. But that's where your playoff scenarios rest going into this game. For the Bears, also, we can't fumble quarterback center exchanges. I just want that to be said. That has to be said. That was an SOL type play in a team that's no longer the SOL, in my opinion, but that was an SOL type play. That was bad.
Upsetting.
Bears preview. I don't have a ton. It's a must win, obviously. This is like the fan base needs this. The team needs this. This is like Dan Campbell. It's his culture taking form where he's going to wake these guys up. Hey, we can't just walk over teams, which is, I'm guessing, the only explanation I have for the Carolina game is like we just started reading too many headlines and like got a little too ahead of ourselves and thought like, oh, it's Carolina, it's Sam Darnold. When they're still like a scrappy team that's playing for their division, it just looked like we went in there like not physical, not ready to go. So Dan's got to wake him up. He had his quotes about, hey, sometimes your best football happens when you get punched in the mouth. Okay, if you're going to say it, let's do it. You're at home. The crowd will still show up for you because they're still playing for the playoffs. My only prediction for this game is that Jameson Williams is going to have another touchdown catch in this game. And the Lions will win. I don't know what the score will be. But I think now that we're back in a dome, it's really elementary school, but I think away games in cold weather, they're still being cautious because of his ACL. But at home in Ford Field,
plus that
climate controlled.
Oh no. Carolina's different.
They're going to let him
about
cook.
the bad New York turf.
Or they're at least going to like let him run around like 15 times and like 3 of the plays will be designed for him, maybe as the first read. I don't know. But I think he scores again. Bears secondary's not good.
Bears are not good.
Bears are not good, and they're actively playing for a high draft pick.
But Justin Fields is pretty good at running.
They run first team.
And
He's gave up the most rushing yards since like 91.
How we beat him last time was Justin Fields had almost a career day again, rushing, and we still won.
He threw a pick six that cost him the game.
To a guy that no longer exists.
Alex, stop it.
Sorry. It's hard, Grant.
Other than
Right,
that,
they're gonna be when we draft a corner at number 7.
I'm cool with the second pick being a corner.
The value's not there.
Not. Well, it depends. Top corner could fall all the way to right there.
To number 7?
No, to the back half.
All right.
I don't like our chances against the Bears.
What?
Jesus Christ,
Evan. We're like a 5-point
This is
favorite.
just so gross. You do this every week.
They have nothing to lose. They have nothing to worry about. They can play the spoiler game.
They're tanking, though.
They played competitive against the Bills until the second half. We're not the Bills. They held Stephon Diggs to like less than 40 yards.
The Bills ended up winning by like 21 points.
They held their best player to less than 40 yards.
Did you see the field they were playing on was a joke?
James Cook ran all over him.
Devin Singletary made Shaquan Brisker look like.
So I guess they both ran all over him.
We don't have a run game anymore. Jamal Williams isn't his.
Oh my God!
DeAndre Swift
so you've given up, Evan. One game has completely changed everything for you, and you've given up on the season. It's crazy.
The Lions pissed down their leg and blew the playoffs last week. It's over.
No.
And now every single game is just.
Oh, you trust yourself going into Lambeau versus Aaron Rodgers with the playoffs on the line?
I do.
Yes.
I stand by. I think they're going to win that football game.
Drugs. High on
drugs. Listen. If we get flexed to Sunday night,
we don't. It's already been decided. The Lions ruined that too. No more primetime games. Already flexed the Ravens and Steelers because you lost at Carolina.
But no, that's good for us.
This week,
don't get mad about that.
Ravens Steelers.
Next week, week 17, buddy.
Buddy, Evan's fired up.
Evan's just a jackass. I mean, it's disgusting.
Oh,
you watch one game.
Pleased.
No, but I'm not going to sit here and start crying and say the season's over when we still have 2 games left and everything in front of us.
A person of how it's going to go.
A realistic person, Evan, would realize that before this loss, we were on one of the best streaks in recent Lions history.
Because you dug yourself a hole going 1-6. Now you got back to 7-7, and you had a chance to clinch the playoffs before Week 17 if you just won the 2 games. Beat Carolina, beat the Bears. You could have clinched the playoffs before going.
Still can win 2 games and still make it. And
but now you have to go and face Aaron Rodgers.
Now look,
who doesn't respect you still and has revenge because you.
The same old Lions will never turn into the new Lions if they don't win at Lambeau.
Well, they look like the same old Lions because they thought their shit didn't stink and they went in there and just threw a dud. A dud.
No,
it was embarrassing. It was embarrassing. It ruined Christmas for a lot of fans.
It was embarrassing game to watch. It was embarrassing.
It sucked. It did, but I'm not.
I think it's very healthy to have these 2 perspectives because there is a large chunk that thinks like Evan thinks, and I think there's a chunk that thinks like Alex and myself think, where it's like, hey, embarrassing, but we're still. I don't even want to say blindly hoping. I think this team's proven enough during that 6-1 stretch where like they can figure it out. We will know pretty early on against the Bears. If they come out flat, then I'll be Evan's camp where like this is a joke. What happened? What are we doing? But right now, I see both sides. I get it. Also, not to get us derailed in the semantics debate, Evan, I think you got tripped up on the 18-week season. It looks like week 18, everything's still TBD. So I think Lions-Packers could be Sunday night, which hurts. I do not want to be Sunday night.
I was told it's the last week.
Wait, I actually should. You know what? If I'm going to be fully in brand new Lions, let's put us on Sunday night. We'll avenge those demons from when we went and they beat us at Ford Field. We'll go beat them in Lambeau. Brand. There would be nothing better than beating Aaron Rodgers to make the playoffs at Lambeau on Sunday Night Football in front of those cheeseheads. That would be electric. I won't even care if we score a point in the playoff game if that happens. That might be a little loser mentality, but that's how I would feel. But we got to beat the Bears, and we have to give predictions for the Bears. Let me double check the spread. What are we looking at here?
Let's hear your loss for the 14th week in a row.
Lambeau Field, you will be lucky to score 9 points.
You just said you don't like our chances against the Bears.
I don't like our chances because they're a run-first team, and you just gave the worst rushing performance since like the 90s in like NFL history.
Against a good rushing team. Good-ish.
Maybe good offensive line, but like their running backs don't scare me.
He's playing in San Francisco, and
they've been a better rushing team without him. I mean, that's just a fact.
No, because they fired their head coach and had no.
They are a physical football team. They did kick our ass. They're a physical team.
Coldest game in Carolina history.
It was 30 degrees. It was more than warm enough, Alex. Don't make excuses for the sorry-ass team.
That's not an excuse, Evan. That is just simply a fact. It was the coldest game in Carolina history. They said it like 20 times.
But, Evan, one sorry-ass game does not make a sorry-ass team. That's what we got to tell ourselves.
This sorry-ass franchise proves to the fan base that they're not back yet.
God.
Laid an egg.
Your same old Lions fan behavior is half the problem.
Well, because that was the same old Lions performance.
No, I like that Evan's fired up. That just means he doesn't want this.
Have bad weeks in the NFL, Evan. It's a grown man
You can have bad weeks in the beginning.
If you don't show up, you're going to suck.
You can have bad weeks when the playoffs are on the line. You have to be playing your best football.
They were.
It took the sail off of this ship that you built for the previous 7 weeks of going 6-1. Gone. You ruined that.
And now we're sunk.
What about Jacksonville that is now in first place after the Lions absolutely blew their doors off?
I just said that streak is ruined because of the last performance. What did you do to me recently?
I'm saying Jacksonville was in the same type of boat, playing really well, got murdered.
Fan base.
Devil's advocate, the egg was bad. That makes this all worse. But if we played a competitive game down to the wire, the result's still the same. I know, like, spin zone, but we played them hard, but like we're just chasing wins. I don't care if we win by 1 point versus Justin Fields. We need to win by 1 point at this point.
I don't care if we win by 1 point either. Yeah,
we're chasing dubs. Now,
Evan, I don't care if Tua was concussed in 2 interceptions. I'm celebrating walking out there.
But Evan, if we lost by 3, I don't think you'd be like freaking out as much.
Huh?
Like if we lost in a
if we didn't give up
game.
500 rushing yards, I would not be freaking out. You gave up the most rushing yards like in the NFL this year by halftime.
Is it because your other team lost to Houston this weekend?
Alex, that's unnecessary.
I don't care about the Titans.
He doesn't need
They're
another
dead to
team
you.
right now. We're in playoff contention.
Yeah, they're
Same
dead to me.
record, actually.
We might have to pick those teams in a little bit if we keep blowing it up. But I just want you to know, Evan, right now I'm on the other side of the fence. But I'll tell you what, if we look bad against the Bears, I'm jumping in that sinking ship with you, and I'm cursing this franchise. So just know we're
You
one
guys
bad
are going to want
performance
Dan
from Evan
Campbell
Company.
out after
No.
next week.
No,
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 I
no,
can see it now.
not that.
Evan already gave him year 3. Evan was year 3
I
from
gave
the
him year
jump.
3 when we were
1-6. When I was saying we just need to match last year's win total. Look, it's
It's
minus
crazy
5.5.
the roller coaster this fandom has.
It is, and it's not.
Super Bowl champs 2 weeks ago to worst team I've ever seen in my life.
get
I
my
can't
point?
handle it.
I
fans.
just want to make the playoffs.
I get it. Yes, it's very
Everybody- literally
embarrassing,
everybody
disappointing,
lost their
upsetting.
If you were to beat Carolina and beat Chicago, could
But
you
Evan-
imagine the fan base clinching a playoff game at home at Ford Field?
Let's
That
just
was
not
what was
dwell.
on the line if you beat Carolina.
Don't dwell on the past. Handle your
would be
business
doing
the
this.
next 2 games. And
You
get
can't
things
dwell on the
on.
past of us beating Jacksonville at home. Like,
Right down Brush
That
Street.
was
This
not.
would be
That's
Brush
not my
Street if
point
they
on
did
that. My point was that Jacksonville was dead after we beat them, and then now they're in first place. That was my point.
but what was on? I'm
2
saying
games
what was
left.
on the line. You had everything.
2 games
perfect.
left, Evan.
We
Let's
have
move
to win
forward.
this week.
Let's
It's
chop
a must
together.
win. Win this week.
Let's try to be positive in the first quarter in our group chat.
Alex,
Win
when
this
Chuba
week.
Herbert and Devontae Foreman, without him, I would have scored 9 points in fantasy football. But with they were running the ball down our throat.
Let's just try to be positive.
Shout out
this
to him
Sunday.
for that.
Ben McAdoo was carving our asses up. Same
Sunday,
dog.
Evan. Positive.
Beat the Bears this week, Evan. Your score with a Lions victory stamped on it. Put the Evan Camus stamp of approval.
We beat the Bears because I'm with Alex. I think they're actively tanking. Because now all you have to do is I think Houston has to win one more game and the Bears get the first pick. Not that it really matters.
I mean
for them.
they're in a race. They're in a race for it for sure.
Final score predictions. Going Lions 31, Bears 21.
So, just so everyone knows, my streak is over. I picked the Lions to win last week, and they lost.
Credit to you for admitting that.
Way to go.
31-14 Lions, big and a bounce back.
Big. We're gonna blow the brakes off the Bears.
What's the spread?
Yeah.
5.5. I got right in the Las Vegas tricky zone. I got 31. Have we all said 31 as the Lions score? I'll go 31-18. I'll split you guys.
I just
That
saw a
feels
stat of Dallas has scored 29 more points in the last 3 weeks or 9 weeks. Excuse me. And 29 to me just doesn't seem a lot.
30 in the NFL is a lot.
It just to me it doesn't
I think.
seem like a lot.
30 points?
Score 4 touchdowns. Score
Because
a
we're-
touchdown a quarter. That's basically what you're telling people.
It is
We're
a lot, but the Lions seem to do it a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to hit that over 29.
Let's just look. Just out of now 1 week sample, but if you look at this past week, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
There was a dud. 19-14.
There was
19-3.
7 teams of 32 in the NFL cleared 30. So 30, at least if you take week 16 as your sample size, is on the rare end of things to do. But we're big college football guys, so it kind of breaks our brain a little bit. We're 30 in college is nothing.
30 in college is
College is just
20
not the
in the
same
NFL.
sport.
That's halftime.
yeah.
All right. So 3 Lions victories, Jameson Williams touchdown. Let's get back on track. Let's take care of the football. No turnovers. We were doing good with no turnovers from Goff. No turnovers.
Jerry minus the fumbled snap, I thought played pretty well. All things
His
considered.
final stat line looks right. He had to throw a lot because he got behind.
He gets the inflated stats because you're down by 21.
Shout out to
But he
Zilstra.
did okay in that.
Shout out to Zilstra.
The first
Career
possession
day
of the
for him.
second half was putrid. He lost the game there too. 3-and-out punt, and they just go right down the field and score.
No, I didn't watch that. I just saw it come through on the game cast. I'm kind of glad I didn't see it.
It was disappointing. There's a lot of
All
guys that I thought played like dog poop.
Entire
Hey.
defense.
Gut check week. Okuda Army. Let's ride.
Well, you guys, good luck in that battle.
Michigan,
seatbelt gang.
TCU, preview, and prediction.
Oh boy.
The Fiesta Bowl, 4 p.m. on Saturday, New Year's Eve, in Arizona, State Farm Stadium.
2 o'clock
On the
to
call.
start local.
Sean McDonough, Todd Blackledge.
Correct.
Yes.
That is who on the call for this game.
God bless America.
Herb Street and Fowler doing the night game.
Yeah.
And the Rose
As
Bowl in the
usual.
second. Pulling double. I think they're the only announcer duo that pulls double duty. I was looking through the announcers today. Credit to them for just getting after it.
Well, they
Kirk was
in the Las
Saturday
Vegas
and
Bowl, too.
Monday.
Yeah, wow. Michigan is -7.5 as we sit here today. The over/under is 58.5.
College
This
is a different sport.
the biggest football game in my life to this point, happening on Saturday. It's starting to set in as I saw the team get off the plane and get into practice today from all the beat reporters. I don't know. I tried watching TCU highlights today. I tried. I was like, all right, let me just get familiar. Like with Georgia, I did this last year, and I messed up last year. I watched their highlights. They had so many good defensive players that I didn't realize how big and fast they all were because they all looked the same on tape. I was like, oh, they all play at the same speed. But like you have to compare that to the opponent they're playing. And I was like, oh, so they're all just better than every player on the other side of the ball. So I was trying to feel that with TCU. I think their game breakers are on offense, as I think the country might be aware. I went down there. They have 3 main guys Michigan fans and everyone should know about going to this game. Obviously, the quarterback, Max Duggan. We call him Duggan. I also like to say Dugan, the Dugster. This is a comp that you guys might get behind. I was watching this kid throw some footballs around I just watched like the Just Bombs Productions highlight tape, which is dangerous because it makes him think you're really good. So I'm very nervous about this game now as we sit here tonight. He looks like a slimmer and faster Connor Cook to me when I watch him play football.
That's what I wrote down.
No way you wrote that.
Yeah, legit.
Look at us. Yeah, like you watch him. He's kind of built like him. He's got good touch on footballs. He knows where to put it where his guys can go get it. And he's got a little bit of, he's a little quick, and he's a dog too. Like he'll take shots. We saw that in the Big 12 championship game. His highlight tape too was a lot of wide open deep balls. I'm sure he can make the tight throws, but like that tells me their scheme was getting people open all year in the Big 12, and he just didn't miss a throw. So credit to him.
Lincoln Riley's brother.
Lincoln Riley's brother, Sonny Dykes, is an offensive guy, correct? From SMU. I think he was. Kendre Miller, the running back, I would say is a more underrated guy in the country. He's very low to the ground from what I watched, and he's very shifty. Like his juke moves and his highlight tape were disgusting. So he's a problem. He's an X factor for me. We'll get to a little bit later. And then they're wide out. Holy God. Quentin Johnson, I believe he won the award for wide out of the year.
He's good.
He's just massive. There was a good YouTube comment on his highlight tape saying this reminds me of like a more athletic, like shiftier version of Kevin White at West Virginia. You gotta don't think of Kevin White at the Bears. Think of Kevin White, West Virginia was a dog. And I was like, yeah, I see it. They're like, this guy, Quentin Johnson, is 6'4", but plays like he's 6'1" because of how shifty he is. But that's not like an insult. That's a compliment. Like the way he moves. It's like, can't believe that guy's 6'4". So Michigan has to have a plan for those guys, obviously. My main first key to this game is Michigan must stop the run game for TCU. You look at their stats, they've only had like a couple games where they've rushed for less than 4 yards per carry. That's the magic number I'm circling, that their yards per carry needs to be right at like 4 or maybe a 3.8, 3.7. Because if they get running, same thing I thought with Ohio State, and Ohio State had to abandon it. Ohio State was running well. You just can't let this team chew up clock and then like hit their play action shots to their deep guys. If you can, the blueprint I wrote for this was like the Michigan blueprint was the Michigan MSU game, where Michigan was able to eventually kind of choke out that run from Michigan State and then force them to have to like obviously throw deep balls to Reed and Coleman. And then once Michigan made their adjustments, they were able to double team them and just kind of like blew up drives. Because I'm fully expecting Quentin Johnson, who's a great receiver. We saw what Keon Coleman did to Michigan. That is going to happen in this game. Like he is going to catch a fade route. He may catch 2 or 3 fade routes. They can't be touchdowns. They can be like 30-yard shots, 40-yard shots. You have to bend, don't break. But then by the second half, you need to have people over the top because you've taken away the run game where that can no longer happen. That's what I think Michigan fans need to go in with. When he catches his first deep ball, you cannot be full-blown panic. You have to remember Keon Coleman did that in the Big House, and it was full-blown panic, but then you're able to trust your system, trust your changes, and win the game. So I think that's
Grant,
that's how
also, if your
I'm
puddle
visualizing this
behavior
game.
after the Keon Coleman Mosses happens during the TCU game, I will start laughing. I mean, you were full tilt.
that was
during
because of the scars that Michigan State those games have done to me in past years. That's a different situation. I will not think Michigan's going to lose this football game until the clock hits 0 and that they're actually losing.
It's good to know.
Your guys' initial thoughts as college football fans as you see this game getting ready to unfold in Arizona.
What does TCU need to do, Evan? Give us what the Michigan State fans want to know.
Evan,
how can
headline.
the Horned Frogs pull this off?
TCU headed to the Natty. How did it happen? By Evan Cadmus.
Time of possession, 0 turnovers.
Top. Of course.
And then it's the same issue that we've talked about all year with Michigan. Michigan's going to get chunk plays because of TCU's lackluster defense. They have some good stats, but you watch them on film, they run a lot of, even against Kansas State was kind of run heavy. They run a lot of 3-man defensive linemen, and then they'll blitz 2 or 3 guys.
They are 3-3-5, which is unique for Michigan.
Very strange.
I think TCU is going to be bend, don't break. I think they're going to let Michigan just drive up down the field. And then once they get in the red zone, they'll tighten up a little bit as it obviously gets harder when you get down there. And Michigan's had struggles all year. So can TCU force Michigan to kick those field goals and just avoid the big plays? A lot of Michigan's touchdowns are on big plays. They haven't been able to maintain drives like all the way down. They've had red zone troubles we touched on. And then I think if Quentin Johnson goes off, I'm looking at his stats versus AP top 25 teams. It's ridiculous. He's averaging 19 yards a catch versus top 25 teams.
Yeah, it's weird. He's a big game guy. Like, he's disappeared in some games. I was looking through his game logs. Like, he only has like 4 catches for 60. But then he's got, like, when they played Kansas in that big game, he had 200 yards.
Yeah.
206, 180, and 139 in 3 games. 3 of their biggest games.
Was Texas one of the big ones? Or was he a little bit less than that?
66, but he was the leading receiver. That was a grind-out 17-10 win.
Versus AP, top 25, he has 37 catches for 706. Averages 19. It's 4 touchdowns.
It's like 80% of all his yards this season.
So they need him to go off.
Yes. So Michigan's fairness, okay, we slow down him, then they have to turn to somebody else in a big-time situation. Can't anybody step up? And if you saw in the Big 12 game, the most recent game, it turned into Duggan's legs, which was the driving force in the fourth quarter. They had turnovers. They were sloppy with it. So I think they cannot turn the ball over. Because I think if TCU turns the ball over and they get down 2 possessions, I think it's going to be another second half Michigan versus Ohio State where Michigan can just dictate whatever they want to do. Because the other team has to play from behind. Not many people are liking TCU's chances, but it's like the whole thing of where the country doesn't know a lot about TCU. You never know what's going to happen. Sonny Dykes isn't really a traditional coach. He's more of the air raid. So I'm expecting 2 or 3 trick plays out of him too. I think it's going to be closer than people think. Because, last time we saw Michigan was in the Big Ten Championship, but you're facing an inferior opponent. You upset Ohio State, but everybody got up for that. But then, the rest of the Big Ten schedule, nothing really too sexy. So, obviously, this game, everyone's going to be well more focused than they were in the Big Ten Championship, and probably not so much the Ohio State game, but the magnitude's there. So, I still like Michigan's chances, but I think it's going to be a lot closer. I wouldn't be shocked if TCU is leading at halftime and into the fourth quarter.
Alex, how do you see this one? What are some key things you're looking at?
Not a ton to really add. I think TCU's best chance is to grind it out and make it just disgusting. I just don't think they're physically capable of doing that because Michigan does that and they're better at it.
You mean longer drives?
Run the
I'm
ball
thinking
a million times. I think a high scoring approach. I don't think TCU is capable of doing that against Michigan.
So I think they could.
I think if they them popping 2 long Quentin Johnson touchdowns early would be a huge for them in this game as opposed to trying to grind it and set a run.
Maybe.
But then maybe eventually catches up to them because we know Michigan won't abandon the run if that happens. But I see your point. I just don't know, like, can they match that? Like, that's the biggest thing I keep going is, like, we're going to find out.
I don't think they can match anything.
Big
is
Ten.
really what I think.
Oh, I think their quarterback's better.
They
got having an underdog, being the underdog with a superior quarterback gives you a shot as a dog in a game. I don't think people are dumb for betting TCU spread. We'll get to my prediction. I think Michigan will end up covering, but I don't think you're dumb for putting money on the better quarterback when you're a dog. Kind of like how when Alabama faced Georgia in the SEC championship, I know it flip-flopped in the Natty, but that's a revenge factor. It was like, well, Bryce Young versus Stetson Bennett at the end of the day. I don't hate taking the dog in that situation.
Another thing that I look at in playoff matches and matchups, stars definitely do matter at this point in the season, and national champions are always like 80% 4 stars. TCU in the talent composite is 32. For reference, Michigan State is 34. And Michigan is 13. Michigan has 41 4 stars and 3 5 stars, and TCU only has 16. So that usually plays a factor. Everyone's like, well, stars don't matter. You can win without it. You can get to the playoff without it. You can't win a national championship without it. That's usually how I see it too. So
yeah,
TCU's not as talented.
The hardest thing I'm racking my brain around is, like, we've all watched plenty of playoff games at this point where, like, after 1/2 a play, it was kind of decided and I don't know, like, to Evan's point, I don't think TCU is like a Michigan State or Washington and when they've gone to the playoff and it was just like a dusting where it's like first half, it's kind of like, ugh, I don't feel great about the second half being competitive and this game getting to a competitive spot. Like, I think they can hang around because of their quarterback and the talent. And, like, that's also a testament to, like, Michigan still has a ton to prove. I think that's a huge storyline, is where if you were going to play the negative side or the worry side from a Michigan fan is, although it's a playoff and although I don't put a ton of stock in bowl games that aren't the playoff, Jim Harbaugh is 1-5 in bowl games. There might be something where, like, I don't know if this break is, like, if he does he not manage it well? Is he still getting better at it? Was last year a wake-up call? I think that kind of starts to neutralize because I like the fact that they were there last year facing a team that's just their first time in the playoff ever, and it's a first-year head coach with his team. I think that gives Michigan an advantage with the extra time, even though historically at Michigan, Jim Harbaugh has not done well with added time at Michigan for bowl games. But I think the experience matters. I don't think the moment will be too big for J.J. McCarthy and Donovan Edwards that they got into the game last year and got actual reps versus one of the best defenses in college football history. So no one's going to be, like, rattled in this moment. I also think the extra time is going to help facing a 3-3-5 defense because that can either help you or hurt you. It might give more running gaps because only 3 down linemen, or it might overwhelm you with the exact blitzes you can bring from that. But I think having the extra time with Sharon Moore, Matt Weiss, Jim Harbaugh, I think that is crucial for facing a defense you don't really see in the Big Ten at all. You don't really see many, like, true 3-3-5 defenses. Yeah, Alex?
Yeah, I agree with you.
With the actual practice updates, injury report, Mike Morris looks like he's back. Donovan Edwards' cast on his hand looks smaller, and there's smoke it could be off by game time. But either way, it looks like he's going to be able to catch a football better and, like, not fall down right when he catches it to trap it against his body. And then who else? I don't think Andre Anthony's playing, but at this point, he's like wide receiver 4 on the depth chart, so not a massive piece of news. There was someone else. Oh, AJ Henning's still in street close, so your returner will not probably be out there. But you can, returner, you just got to have like Ronnie Bell with sure hands and be fine. Fair catch things, whatever. But those are the injury news things. And to me, the guy I have circled, and it goes back to Alex's point of stars, this is a Donovan Edwards legacy stretch. I was watching a Michigan YouTube video earlier in the week that gives like updates, and they were kind of comparing, like, if Michigan were to somehow get both legs of this done, beating Georgia as well. Beating TCU, I don't think you need Edwards to be crazy, but they were saying, like, when Ezekiel Elliott was a sophomore, he went crazy in the final 4 games of the season, and Edwards has gone crazy against Ohio State and gone crazy against Purdue. And for this to keep going the way it needs to go, if you're a Michigan fan, Edwards has just got to like cement his legacy as one of the best sophomore running back performances we've seen. Like, he just has to be crazy. He has to be a 5-star that he is, NFL level player. So that's a guy that just has to bring it in this game. I think it's about as straightforward as it's going to be.
Want some bad omen?
Yeah, I'd like it on Tuesday night.
Oh.
I can digest. Yeah, tell me now so I can digest it as the week goes on.
The 2 seed has lost the last 3 years in the college football playoff.
All right.
Bright side, TCU's the second worst team in the college football playoff era in terms of talent composite.
Oh.
Cincinnati is the worst.
Well,
if anyone cares. Not surprised.
Before we do predictions, this is a listener cue we had, was who would Grant rather face in the national championship game? I'm going to go with Ohio State because I think it's your best chance to win a national championship.
correct.
I would agree.
Stakes might be higher, where like loser mentality, you'd be like, oh, well, it's Georgia. They're still really good. I don't care. I want to win a national championship. I will fall on the sword if Ohio State gets their revenge. I think you have proven you can beat them, so why not play them again? Let's do the other college football one before our predictions. Does Michigan State have the best front seven in the Big Ten heading into next season?
No.
You don't think
Good,
so?
though. It's solid. It's very respectable. It should be better.
Can you give me a brief overview of what this front seven looks like?
Yeah, I can tell you. So you got the Texas A&M transfer, highly rated. Who knows how good he'll be on the field, but highly
Edge
rated.
rusher, probably.
I'm thinking he's playing.
He's a 3-tech.
OLB.
Former
his hands down?
5-star based on the system. Mel Tucker did say in his press conference he played defensive end. I don't know.
All right, well,
Everyone
semantics.
played defensive end for us last year.
Correct. So you got him. You have Bogle on the other side.
He's been
Not Petrowski. Bogle was pretty good. He just got injured. You have Simeon Barrow in the middle.
Okay.
Next to...
Van Sumeren?
No, he's not ready.
Yeah, he is.
I mean,
We have
he's gotta be.
two transfers, Florida State kid, Liberty kid. And then you have
And a Texas A&M kid.
Hansen. Or the
We have
Texas
3
A&M kid who
transfers.
played at D-tackle. Yeah, someone will be there. And then your linebackers are Winman.
He should be an end. He should be the weak side end 24/7.
Are you guys 3-4 or 4-3?
We were
We don't
3-4
know. They
last year
kinda
with
switched at
Whitman
the
because
end
of
last year.
injuries.
Because, yeah, like the 4, then he's like an outside linebacker standing up.
Correct. At the beginning of the year, that's what we were because of injuries. We didn't have enough depth at the defensive line. Then he went back to linebacker when we got to healthy and we started facing more run teams. And so...
And then after Winman, linebacker-wise, you have a combination of Halliday, Brule, and Snow if he gets healthy.
Halliday's still going to be around.
He's a true junior.
Oh, wow. That kid is going to be one of those guys that's been in college forever.
You can just
Unless he goes pro. I don't know. I don't know what the market is.
You have a good front seven, but I also saw today a disgusting stat that said Cal Halliday was PFF's. So this is when you can hate PFF.
No, it's when you can love.
707th out of 737 linebackers.
That's wrong.
Cal
That's
Halliday's
wrong.
career.
I hate PFF. That's wrong.
That's impossible if he had that many tackles. Like, you can't be that statistically
And
bad if you had that
one
many
of the-
tackles.
It's because
and
of
like-
like pass coverage.
Bottom 5 worst cover linebacker in all of college football.
That could check out. That might check
That could check out.
707th ranked.
He had a pick 6. That should bump you
Two,
up a
Grant.
bunch of spots.
He
He's had
has
2 pick
two
6s
pick
in his career.
sixes.
Yeah, okay. He's not bottom 5. There's way worse people than that.
I'm just telling you, I saw it today. 707 out of 737. I almost threw up.
I mean, yeah, like
He
there's
might come off the bench next year, anyways.
Like there's
Dude,
linebackers
there's
who play
no
like
way. Dude, he's
New
more
Mexico
talented than
State.
half of these scrub bum
He didn't-
teams.
He didn't start the first game.
Like who's the
I'm
worst
saying he might not
linebacker in
start
the MAC?
next year.
There's more than like
Trust me.
5 worst linebackers
Trust
in the
me,
MAC.
I'm not a PFF guy. I don't believe in it either. I'm just telling you what I saw.
Maybe it was Power 5 linebackers, and maybe I'll listen.
There's 737 Power 5 linebackers that play. I think it was like 50 snap minimum or something.
Yeah,
Well, 50
that
snaps
matters.
isn't that much. 50 snaps is one game.
Yeah, it's like one game. Yeah. But still, 707th.
All right. Our predictions for these games. Michigan, TCU. Alex, you kick us off first, then Evan, then I'll go.
31-20. Michigan.
7 points to the under.
Grind out game. Feel each other out for the first quarter.
Feel each other out.
No, I think TCU is going to come out balls blazing.
Pick 6 right off the bat. TCU
That could happen.
one.
It definitely could happen. As in, Michigan gets a pick 6 and they're down 7-0 with the ball.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, this is great. I bet a little more high scoring, just because like there's something part of me that like this underdog team and just TCU might just be like, you know what, we can't stop them. Let's see if we just can score 60. Let's see if we just don't get tired and they do.
That'll either work or they'll throw like 7 picks.
Correct, and then lose by 50. There's been 2 games in Arizona, both played by the same 2 teams.
Clemson and Ohio State.
One was
Clemson,
close.
Alabama.
Clemson, Ohio State. One was close and one was a blowout. So
31-0.
31-0. Then the following year was the next time they played, it was 29-23. So I have like, let's see, what are they at? I mean, they're both per points per game. TCU is 40.3, Michigan's 40.1.
Both teams played 0 non-conference teams, which made it hard to look at.
On paper, TCU's conference schedule, the ranked opponents were better technically. So I think Michigan gets to that 40, and I think it's going to be like a 40-35 game.
Wow.
I really think it's going to be
a great
close.
game
For some reason, like,
for America.
So you're saying, Evan, there's only been 3 semifinal games in the history that have been within 1 possession. You think this will be the 4th?
Why not?
Wow. Why not?
Live in the moment,
Haven't
Alex.
only-
Don't be a Debbie
3 out of
Downer.
16. 3 out of 16.
Isn't I saw like only 6 teams have won a playoff game in the playoff era?
Probably checks out.
Less than 6.
It was right.
Alabama, LSU, Clemson, Ohio State, Georgia,
Oregon won a game.
That's it.
Hmm.
That's 6.
Shout out Oregon.
Yeah. I think Michigan makes himself the 7th team to do it by winning 38-21. 38-21. Might be close. Probably will be close to half, and then they'll pull away. I don't know if they quite get to 40. I'm going to respect TCU's defense a little bit. 21. Ohio State scored 23. Purdue scored 22. Maybe it gets up to 24, but I'm going to sit at 21 for now. So yeah, Fiesta Bowl, and then for the kind of more exciting game, more like probably just NFL high-level stars. Ohio State, Georgia. This is a cool one. If Ohio State shows up and gets physical, which I don't think they do, I'll spoil that one. I think Georgia wins by like 4 touchdowns. I think they just smoke the Buckeyes.
Do you guys know what happened in the last Peach Bowl? The last college
Michigan State
football
won.
playoff
Michigan State
Peach
won.
Bowl. Sorry.
Evan was there.
Also, yes, Michigan State won. The last college football playoff Peach Bowl.
Yeah, it was a blowout. It was
Joe Burrow threw 8 touchdown
6
passes.
touchdowns in the first
Justin
half.
Jefferson had 4 receiving touchdowns.
Sean McDonough
Joe
wanted
Burrow
to
threw
leave that
8
game in the
touchdown
second quarter.
passes.
Yeah,
That's a video game. Fun story about that game. I was flying back to New York, landed, looked at the score, thought the game was over. It was at halftime. I was like, oh my God, what happened in this football game?
That is the greatest college football team I've ever seen.
Yeah. Yeah.
It has to be.
Yeah.
Offense, at least.
I just don't know. I'm trying to think of like a actual score prediction for this game. Do either of you feel like good about the Bucs shocking the world?
no.
Fully doing it? No, but I think they can make it
Could
close.
they do it? Yes. Are they going to
They have
do
the
it?
talent to. This is who everyone thought would be the national championship game.
This is what everyone wanted a national championship game to be.
Just turns out Ohio State hasn't learned how to be tough still.
I mean, this is the time to like get your big boards out and just start, like Grant said, NFL, just get your big boards and who do you want?
Just start scouting.
Yeah. So I think Georgia's going to win. Dude, Brock Bowers is so good. What is the score going to be? Son of a gun, they're at home.
I'm going to go 34-17. Georgia's defense is better than Michigan's, so Ohio State scores less than 23.
Oh, fair point.
They get 2 touchdowns, and Georgia hangs out on the lake. It's the 34.
Talent composite wise, this is like the closest game ever. Georgia has 15 5-stars. Ohio State has 14. Georgia has 53 4-stars. Ohio State has 52.
Wow,
We're talking a
sick.
2-player difference in this
It's just
game.
a lot of talent. It's a lot of talent on the football field.
Number 2 and number 3 collectively in the rankings of talent.
And I think one
With
team
that
just
being
has a
said, I
better
think
football
Georgia's
coach.
just way better. They're going to win. I don't think they're going to murder them like Grant said. What was your score?
I only did 34-17.
Oh,
I got carried away.
Yeah, that's reasonable then. 38-24 Georgia.
But it's like a suffocating 34-17 where like Ohio State scores like later and it's just like they can't move the ball in this team.
38-24. Bulldogs. Never bark alone.
Woof, 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 woof.
I'm gonna go. Where do I want to go?
Evan, this is
Shock
really
the
tough
world.
because these are your 2 favorite teams. So I'm really excited to see who you're rooting for.
Shock
I mean, the
world.
better games are the best game is on noon on the 31st on ABC. So everyone should be watching that game.
Alabama, Kansas State.
No, the game's on ESPN. The best game's on ABC.
Who
Is
is
it
it?
like Kentucky versus somebody?
Iowa versus Kentucky.
Oh my god.
Again?
Does Cade get to play?
They played last year.
Did they?
No, he doesn't get to
No one watched that game, Alex. No, they didn't play last year.
The
Nobody's
Citrus
gonna
Bowl,
watch
yes.
this game either.
Grant and I watched Wandale Robinson take 160 yards to the crib.
And you instantly
That's
wanted
true.
them on the Lions.
No, I don't
Oh.
remember the Lions part of it.
I think
remember him
I would
Georgia
watch-
scoring.
I
wins.
would watch
Georgia's
this
just too solid up front. You can get tickets
Yeah.
for $254 or $164
There's no
for a
way
Michigan
that
game.
Ohio State offensive line blocks like Jalen Carter and his buddies. There's just no way.
Yep. I
Welcome
got
to Detroit.
Georgia 36, Ohio State 23.
So we're all in the same boat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
I
talent
sh-
composite
there-
is
this-
so eye-opening.
I tell you, Alex, it's a good little tool.
We all thought Clemson was going to beat them, and then they on the COVID year, and they scored 49 on Trevor Lawrence. So
Yeah. Yeah. But that was Justin Fields. And he's a guy. And we know he's a guy now.
because he could
I
upset
don't
the
know.
Lions
I
on
don't-
Sunday.
I haven't. Full circle.
Full circle.
Miscellaneous sports. Was someone asked how did the Pistons lose? And I thought that was
I
a
haven't
good
watched
question.
it back. I just keep seeing that we were up 14 with 3 minutes and lost. And like
And they had
everyone's talking about it. It's like
they
a
had pulled
historic
their-
collapse.
They had pulled their starters like when the comeback happened. So it was like bench warmers coming them back and then they plugged in the starters to finish it off.
And
And it,
Paul
like,
George
worked
even
into-
missed a free throw and they still won.
I think Valenti said it was like since 1990 something, like in that situation, up 14 points with 3 minutes to go, teams are like 16,002, and we're the second team to do it. So there was one other team that did it, and then us. It's not like breaking down how it happened. I think it just serves as a reminder that I'm just going to say it. I think I'm ready for a new coach in Detroit. I'm ready to just get a breath of fresh
I said
air.
that like 3 weeks ago.
Nothing's just working. No one's really getting better. Like Killian Hayes has started looking more competent, but like I'm not going to give Coach Casey all the credit for that. Sadiq Bey is regressing. People like are not getting better at shooting. It just needs to change. Might as well do it now rather than waiting. Like because what Valenti had said from the clip I listened and I agree with him. Like when you talk about the Pistons, you can't really say like what's their identity, what's one thing they do well. They don't play defense, and that was what Dwayne Casey was kind of known for in Toronto. Was like a gritty style basketball. We don't play a lick of defense. We're like one of the worst defensive teams I've ever seen in my life. So like, what's the point?
We are buns.
It's like what does he do? Like what do you do here?
We stink. That's
Keeps
what we do.
some good
We just
decorum
know
in the
how to
locker room.
suck.
I mean, we're close to a decade of losing seasons. That's crippling. That's like Sacramento Kings. Franchises get buried from that. We need to just like recognize we're going to suck the rest of this year. Start getting in new people. Hopefully, do well in the lottery. Make some moves, and then like win more games next year, close to 500, and then like win. Like we need to start winning sooner than later, or it's going to get like really, really dark. Where like no one even cares about the Pistons.
Yeah.
I don't even want to talk about them.
That's just a war. Alex is already there. That's just a warning shot.
Like
Like at
they're
least we're like
moving into Tigers territory.
At
Not
least
yet,
we're like,
because they're
hey.
exciting-ish.
Ivy and Duran, I want to see how they do by year's end. But like, if we keep losing, I don't care what cool guys we have. We just are losers at some point. You're just losers. And I don't want to root for losers anymore.
You
So
hate being a loser.
Sucks.
We're used to it, Alex.
Yeah, but
That's why we need the
losers.
Lions to go 9-8, so we don't have a loser. We haven't had a winning record in the city of Detroit, I think, since 2016. So if people ever wonder why we talk about college sports so much, that's why, because those teams actually win games, and they're like at least fun to watch. New Year's resolutions. Not to get too fired up. You guys want to do sports first or personal first?
Personal, and I'm not going first.
Alex looks like he didn't know this was on the show doc.
Kind of forgot about him. I did read the show doc. I did forget to do this part.
Evan, did you say you don't want to go first?
I don't want to go first because I want to compare.
I'll go first.
What I have in
Personal.
my head to you guys.
I'll go personal. I think drink less. Let's try to do that this year.
Less? You're no
Yeah.
fun.
That feels like a cop-out, because I don't think you drink that much unless you're a secret booze hound we don't know about.
How about when I drink less instead of fully just getting after it a little too much?
So pace yourself better.
Yeah.
But
Learn my
you're not
limits
like
at age 26.
You're not a puker. Did you puke over break and didn't tell us?
No, I never puke.
Then what? This is like when people have Lent in the Catholic religion and they give up something they already don't do.
It's just like you wake up the next morning.
Let's get
you're
better,
like, wow,
Alex.
did I really act like that?
Because you like
That's
having
what I
fun
would
with
like
your
to
friends.
avoid.
Are you I don't think you're known as like a guy that does really regrettable things when they're drunk.
No, I don't think people think that. I just think I
I'll spread the rumor
overanalyze
if you
myself a
want
little
to.
too much.
You want me to start
Yeah,
spreading
like, what
the
do you
rumor?
just like?
Maybe I should.
You hint.
How about that? I should stop overanalyzing everything I do. Just
You like
let
hitting.
loose. Maybe I
So
should
now
drink
you-
more.
No, now you're full opposite of what you plan to do.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have a good
You
one.
should be more of a go for the flow kind of guy.
I've tried to be better
You
about
need
that.
to
I think
relax a little bit
I think I'm improving.
Hmm.
I'm
I think
wound
you
up.
should-
I get it from my parents.
Start
Yeah, so
walking
stop
in.
that.
I think you should start walking into restaurants and public establishments first and stop making other people go first. I think that should be a New Year's resolution.
Oh, Grant has
Got to
a
go to
pet
restaurants for
peeve.
that to happen, Evan. I mean,
Lead the charge. Lead the charge. Don't be a follower. Go in there and
yes,
say
sir.
your business.
Start doing that. I'll send a video too.
Is it this like why? Never mind. I'm not getting into this. We'll go on a
No,
tangent.
get into it. Get into it.
I like to hold the door for people to go in, so I don't have to
No,
be the first
there's a
person to
deeper
talk.
issue there.
That's why.
No, there's. You're not that.
there's-
Nice. You're not
Alex
that.
is
Nice with
scared.
your
Did you
friends.
hear what I said? I hold the door for someone else so that I don't have to talk to the server person. So I'm
It's the
avoiding
easiest thing.
talking to people.
It's one of the
Alex is
easiest
scared to
things
look
in
dumb.
life.
Yes,
They
I
should-
talk to you first. How many?
I'm awkward, Evan. Sorry.
5. But this goes back to Evan letting loose. So maybe that's just what we need. Don't
Yeah, I
look dumb.
overthink everything, It's just what happens.
maybe be goofy in public.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to be, Evan at tailgates. I got to find a fine line.
Dude, there was two. It was
Unnecessary chop.
It was two.
Well, it felt like I was getting attacked, so I needed to say that.
He had Crown Royal.
You need to stop
Crown
dragging
Royal
people
things.
into your problems and comparing yourself
Evan,
to others. This has been an issue for years on years, and you can't not do
It's
it.
not my fault you get offended by your actions at tailgates.
I'm not getting offended by my actions. We're talking about you.
doing
That
it
you
again,
have to
Alex.
drag me into it.
I dragged you
You're doing
into
it
it because
again.
you were putting me down, so I was putting you down back. That's just giving it back where I got it from.
A personal one is twofold. And I simplify it to this. 1, become stronger. 2, become
you
smarter.
need that.
And the 2 specific things I'm going to do is 1, lift heavier weights. So we're talking progressive overload throughout the year.
Lift heavier weights. That's easy, Grant.
I'm just
You can do that.
You should
I'm just
see.
going to
You should see Grant's workout routine, and you would understand why he's not.
I'm just
getting
going to
bigger.
go in a notebook and I'm going to write down at the start of the year like what my bench press is, what my shoulder press is, and then like as we get through the year, I just want that number to consistently go up and at the end result in like, wow, you came a long way. I'm not sure how many pounds that'll be, but like, wow, we progressively overloaded our lifts in the year 2023. And
Do you have a
2,
routine?
read books because I told Alex that we should read books more.
I was going to text you the other day about our little book club, but figured that just didn't happen.
I said, Alex, like, I haven't been reading out here. I live alone. I have no excuse not to read. Like, when else would you just read when you have nothing else to do? And I was like, will you buy the same book as me and we'll read it? We said it would be done by the end of February. It's almost January, and I've read 10 pages. So I need to read
page
books. 8. We're just bad. Evan, feel free to join if you want.
Just busy with life.
Well, I'm not. I make excuses. I could find time for 30 minutes a night.
Excuses too. I could find time.
Less Twitter before bed.
No Twitter. Book. I need to get back to that.
Evan?
I have something similar to the read books, but mine's more job and education purposes. Like, get better knowledge at your profession. So for me, my profession, so there's a lot of, almost any profession, just like motivational or coaching or training books. Mm-hmm. There's some good ones that I've gandered at and would like to read those. And then since we talked about it last week, I'm going to finish my list, my watch list.
Movie list.
Your movie list.
I got a whole year, Alex.
I just don't believe you. And that's not an indictment on you.
Hey, power to me the other day.
I don't see it.
Was it last night or 2 nights ago? Doesn't really matter. I was going to just watch Game of Thrones. I had it already plugged in. I stopped myself and I watched the first Avatar instead.
Nice.
I watched that movie Grant said on the podcast after the show and watched that movie and texted you guys that I watched it. That's the dedication you need if you're going to finish this movie list.
I love sleep too much.
Well,
like,
Alex, you don't have a list.
There's no point for me to stay up.
Trust me, I don't have a list because I just watch stuff. I'm easily entertained.
I'm saying, like, when you have 40, like me, it's overwhelming.
That's what I mean. That's why I don't think Evan's going to finish because there's so
much.
Watch
one,
365 days to watch like 30.
I still have 39 left. It's like, God,
you probably have like closer to 50, so it's like one a week.
There's a couple shows on there, so there's episodes.
You have to watch a movie a week.
Oh, God.
That's a lot.
Not to scare you, but that's a lot. That is a lot.
It's a lot.
You better get.
Oh my God, it is. Like I have to watch like.
But I've watched 6 movies in the last 2 weeks.
I added a show to my list too. So.
I like Evan's first one about work because I feel like that's a big thing in our society. Not to get too deep, 2 hours in, but like you learn how to do your job and then you never get like better at the job. You just kind of like rinse and repeat what you already know how to do and it's passing. But it'd be kind of nice to like keep learning about what you're doing and get better at it.
I don't really enjoy it. And I have to do that. So well, good luck.
Sports. I'll go first. I got one all-encompassing one. But the specific thing is do not give up on players or teams as easily. I guess I'm thinking about Killian Hayes. Maybe that's what spurned it. Like I'm not fully back.
Like, in the NBA.
I'm not like fully back that he's going to be good, but I don't think I should have. I don't think I should have just fully been like at the age of 19 that this guy's a bum. And the bigger thing is like just be a little bit less critical and remind myself that sports are hard. And at the highest level, it's very hard. So, like, yeah, like maybe Jared Goff isn't Josh Allen, but that doesn't mean he's bad and that we need to, like, absolutely get rid of him no matter what. You know, like, it's still a really hard game people are playing. And just kind of, like, the whole enjoy the craft of it and not be like, oh, this guy stinks. He's a bum. Get rid of him. He stinks after, like, a couple games. Like, you don't know. Things can change.
Mine is similar. But not really, but similar topic, I guess. So when people are doing that, specifically my friends who are just hating on things and being terrible.
I'm talking to Evan again.
I need to not engage and, get in arguments over it. I just need to let it go and just I can be positive, they can be negative, and that's okay. Everyone can be different. I just need to worry about my own opinions, not everyone else's. And I don't need to force people to be positive. I can just let them stew in their own depression.
Well, that also can go to like Twitter too. I think that ties in where like maybe you're just going along with your day. You're going along with your day and you just see a Scott Bell tweet. You don't need to let that negatively impact your day if you don't want to. If you do want to, sure. But like you don't have to let other people that are trying to purposely troll people also bring you down.
Yeah, no, I just need to get over the trolling from people like you. Just kidding. But yeah,
I
I just
troll
need
sometimes.
to not care what other people's opinions are unless I highly value them, which I try to value my friends, but it can get depressing sometimes.
Evan, your sports New Year's resolution.
My sports is get invested more. And I'm saying,
Jesus Christ, Evan.
You're gonna start. Evan started an NIL fund for Michigan State.
no.
So
I'm
you're
saying,
gonna
like,
watch all these movies and watch more sports?
no, I'm
It's
saying,
never gonna
well,
happen.
not necessarily watching more,
Wait,
but like, okay, we have our secondary sports that we care about, but we're not really in tune to them.
Oh, the Premier League.
Like Premier League, for
Beautiful.
example, I have Chelsea, but like, it's hard to watch that because it's on third-party streaming services. But I'm saying like NHL, MLB, NBA, just like know what's going on in the league besides like the talking heads or what telling you like their opinions. Like know who's actually playing well in the NBA, MLB. You know who's performing well. Like when you see somebody
that's-
playing, just
that's a
like
tough
know.
task.
It would just
I respect.
No, I
that,
respect that you're gonna try it. Like, but I can't follow baseball all summer long if the Tigers are dog shit. I can't do it.
Hunter
It's
does it
just-
so well with baseball. It's literally just like waking up and like watching like MLB Central or Hot Stove.
or just
But-
reading, going to ESPN and clicking on the MLB tab and just like looking at the headlines and read like one article a day of like, oh, that's going on in the MLB. Nice.
It's just so boring when your team's so bad.
But
It's
you know
like,
how
I
invested we were into the Tigers like that first 2 weeks. We wanted nothing but the Tigers. Everything.
Yeah. I was going to a wedding.
Wins
We were
and
on
friend's
losses
wedding.
determine
all-time
everything.
high
Yeah.
after that first game.
Watching the
There was nothing but Tigers.
opening day win on the way to a wedding, driving through a rainstorm because I wanted to see the new Tigers and they wanted to walk off. And I was like, Marissa, we're going to the playoffs this year. And then we stunk.
So I want to be more like before like the playoffs start. Like actually like know who actually is like playing.
Evan wants to be the Ryan Russillo of how he is with the NBA, but with all sports.
Tales from the couch with that.
Not
That
that
means
Ryan
you
This
just
is what
will
I
be
watched.
single
Ryan
for the rest
Russillo's-
of your life, and you just sit in your house and watch like NBA TV, MLB Network,
I will not
NHL
watch NBA
Network.
TV. Those
No,
will be
Alex, he's not. I like what you're doing, but he's not saying he's gonna watch every game.
not
He's
gonna
just
watch
saying
every
like
game.
just like get it from
I
more
fully expect you
informed
to have a
people than
similar
like
level
Stephen A.
knowledge
Smith.
of all the main sports now. Grant and I won't even need a show. You'll be on your own, have your own podcast.
I mean, I
and
know.
my entire
okay.
podcast is just gonna be dating advice. Just people are gonna call in. I'm just gonna
You're
send out my
going to give
number.
dating advice.
You know how
love
awesome
that.
it would be.
Not to flex my knowledge, but I know the Bruins are a wagon, and Trae Young might want to be traded out of Atlanta.
Everybody knows the
Boom.
Bruins are good. They're historically good. Grant, come on. That's just the headline stuff. We got to get deeper.
I watched TCU for like the first time really today, but that's what Evan's saying. Maybe know a little bit more about them before we get to this point. in
Do you
the
ever
season.
think maybe we should try to be like less involved in sports
Less?
and like not let it ruin our lives as much as it does?
I thought
an
about that.
interesting
I was like,
counterpoint.
don't care so much about Michigan State athletics and make it ruin your entire next like 5 days.
This feels
Simply
like
can't do
something we
that.
should
Simply can't.
as
do
we
that.
get older should probably think maybe we should care less, not
Can't.
more. But
I
Evan's
will.
going
I will
more.
care 1,000% like the same amount until like I have a kid.
we need to be better? I think
We have no distractions to distract us from our
Bailing-
daily life. We have no.
Well, Grant
Bailing
does.
on-
He has a girlfriend at least.
like we need to bail on dog shit products, which I have been good at. Like Hoke and Rich Rod blacked those years out of my life. I didn't watch them; they sucked. I'm not watching that. Like people can call it a bandwagon, but no, like you're still a fan of the team.
So you want
still
us to be
follow-
Wilkins?
No,
Give up after one game and just him
no,
for
no, no,
hours.
No. You
That's
still
exactly
follow
what
them.
I'm trying to avoid.
Like with the Tigers and the Pistons, like I know Scott Harris got hired. I did my research as a fan would. I like what I see, but I haven't watched that team in a while. I'm not going to watch them until they prove to me that they deserve to be watched. And then I'll be in as a fan. We just need to space out. Like if all of our teams get good at once, that's overwhelming, but none of our teams are good. So we really shouldn't be. If there was ever a time to not be as consumed, it'd be now because like no one's good.
I would say my NBA and MLB and NHL level of enthusiasm is probably at its all-time low. So historically, like this is probably the lowest it's ever been. Like I don't even care at all.
Yeah. Until draft season, then we get excited for a night. We get ready for summer league, and then we suck. and then it's like-
Yeah. We're draft
Suspicious
people.
cycle. Yeah.
We'd love the draft
We
more
are.
than our own
We love
regular
the-
season.
the
I mean, we talked
fall.
about like Jackson Jobe last year for the Tigers. That's all we had to talk about.
After the NBA draft, I had never been more excited about the NBA.
Well, that was an electric night.
Yeah, it turned into dog shit.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's the show. That's New Year's resolutions. Think about your own. Feel free to send us any if you want.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
in the comments. What are you working on?
We're
to be
all
the
gonna
best
read
fan
more.
this
So
year?
if you have any great books, tweet at us.
Yes.
Send us what
Your
you're reading.
book recommendations.
Yes, but
Evan,
mine's
you can
in my
ask
Green
me
eggs
for
and
book
ham.
recommendations.
But mine's in my
I've given
field
you
of
some.
study.
Oh,
I
Alex.
will not read
You're
some
not-
random foo-foo book. Coaching or strength training.
All right, I'm not reading
Only.
anything fiction. No fiction. No fiction requests.
Green eggs and ham.
Oh, I already read that.
At Shut Off MS everywhere. Follow along. How to listen. Apple Pods, Spotify, YouTube. The YouTube channel. People have been listening there to the shows. I don't know if they're making it through, but our last episode had like over 100 views on YouTube. So
Shout out.
go on YouTube. There's no video of us, but there is a picture of the thumbnail. So however you listen, go ahead, rate and review on all those platforms. Subscribe if it lets you. With all that being said, cheers
Cheers.
to episode 103. And this will be the last show before the new year. So to 2023.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, guys. Kiss somebody right now.